just get back in the hot tub and give you guys a minute. Tequila? Checkbook? Sourpuss? Must be out on time. It's not on me, you should at least come over and get it, right?
Joining Crypto Rapper this morning. Shout out to Crypto Rapper.
Okay, that looks good. Now it's surprisingly good. Motion that is there.
Yeah.
Sick. Good.
We're talking about motion.
Okay. Real.
Sexy on the cover.
Here with the button left and so on. That would have been the end of me. This is going to carry shit. Somebody else did not check this. I fucking knew it. My way of fucking confident. Why does the picture does not do that? You just like white, you can do maybe better. This is like white early. What's white early? You can give me. I just what?
Back.
Oh, got 1.6. Let's go. Market is the S. SS.
Yeah. I just saw it. The order is not good. But that's you.
Quota, up in front.
I mean, I'm here. I'm just getting myself and I'm eating.
Freaking volume. Oh, 1000 points versus 1 dance. That's what I wanted to see, bro. The 8.5 under foot. And I lost. Who robbed me, guys? It's one of you. I know it's one of you. I know it's one of you, guys. I didn't check the wallets. That's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not down with 2.3. I'm down 2.3. What? From 1.7 to 2. Nah. Nah. What the fuck? Bro, that was a good one. Why did it have to be wrong, man? I lost, it says I lost 0.2. Okay, 1.8. Bank. Shit. Less than 5, of course. My whale. I had time to buy this. I had time to buy this, bro. One send it, I have 5 minutes before next day. Fucking clicked on 9. What was really good? Maybe I heard someone. Probably gonna send, but I don't know, send the text. This one is something we can find. So let's see this guy's thing. It's a problem. Is a reminder? Okay. So am I ready? What? Guys, I gotta go. What? Guys, I gotta go. Mom? Dad?
Dad's not here.
Oh, well, where is he?
He went to the game.
Oh, Okay.
You gotta say hi to your brother and sister.
I'm sorry. What's up, twins?
What are you doing here?
What do you mean?
You're supposed to be at college.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I drove home to talk to your dad.
Okay. All right, well, he'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you. You know that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, really. You've been doing great in college, and I'm just so proud of you.
Mom, please don't start crying.
When I was your age, I was out there doing that, you know. So much. And here you are. Doing good, doing good. Because I was out there, you know. I mean, you would not believe it. So glad you were young, too.
And you need it. Mom? I need to tell your dad something.
Oh, don't give me that look. That's what I was getting when I was out there. And I was out there, I said, no.
Mom, please stop.
Okay. Then why are you so serious?
It's not serious at all.
Honey, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
What is it?
It's nothing. I just wait for Dad to come home and talk to both of you.
Oh, no, you need to talk to both of us at the same time. It's bad.
No, I promise.
Is anybody hurt?
No?
Everybody all right?
Yeah?
Is there a police officer involved?
No.
What else?
Mom, no.
Okay. Do you want me to call your dad?
No. Sure, I'm sure it's fine.
All right. Where you going?
I'm going to talk to Auntie Ellen on Chris.
Oh, it's bad. And she's at church.
Well, maybe she could preach. I mean,
What is it?
I promise. Everything's fine. I'll do it.
Do you want some lunch?
No, I'm fine. I can't eat.
What is it?
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Hey. Are you back?
All right.
Not really sunny out today.
What they say?
My dad's not home yet.
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna go talk to Mom.
What I'm supposed to do while you over there doing all that?
Can you just go for a drive and call you when I get back?
Who's gonna take all that gas while I'm just driving around with nowhere to go?
It's gonna be all right. I got you on the base. I'll call you when I get back, all right?
Oh, you big baller like that?
Yeah, you know you did it. So yeah, just go for a ride until you're tired.
Okay. When you want me to get off?
When we get to the end,
Ain't that like a little circle?
full circle and a half, yeah. You'll be all right.
All right, Dad. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm gonna go. Now, watch me walk away.
All right, then. Okay. I see you. Oh my God, they're gonna kill me. Oh no, they're gonna shoot us. They want me to drug money. So, hey, Dad, I need to tell you something. Dad, Mom, I need to tell you something. They're gonna kill me. Dad, sit your ass down. I need to talk to you. I guess I can't do that. They might ask for it. Dad, my man.
Oh, okay, sure. I mean, I'm just calling to get on the credit card.
Okay, okay. Stop. Just stop.
Okay, just. Can I ask you something?
What is it?
When you were facing like that, I was.
Don't bite your tongue. You going to hell for that.
I'm just asking.
You don't ask.
I'm sorry. I just want to know. Please.
Oh, you really ready for that, and I'm trying to get myself free. I'm going to lie with anybody. I'm getting mad as hell.
Oh, wait.
Trying to do something. It ain't working. You try. You try.
You ready to tell me? No. Please. Please, can you just tell me?
What was that say?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how so?
One thing you don't want is a crazy baby mama.
I know that.
Yeah, don't do it. That's why we gave you all those comments when you went to school.
Yeah.
You still have?
That was years ago. Man, that was a lot. It was 8 in a box.
Oh, I see that being an issue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just tried trying to figure out how they work.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they really fragile. But I got a problem with them.
Wait, is that girl pregnant?
Wait, what the one your parents don't like? Wait, what?
Yeah, what's her name?
Lisa.
Lisa.
And they don't like it?
Did I say that yet? Well, the last time you brought it home, all hell broke loose.
I did not know that.
Take it from me. Keep her as far away from your parents as my dad's right hand is from his left because of his belly.
That's a whole lot of distance. Bro, why don't they like it?
Well, parents hardly ever like the first girl. Or the second, the third, the fourth. You get lucky if they like the fifth.
I mean, should I just be single like this?
I couldn't do it.
What? Is that right? Okay.
Don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
Okay.
No, you know what? Scratch that. Do everything that you would do.
All right. Okay.
So yeah,
No, not at all.
well, thank you. I tried.
Wait, where are you going?
So, go see if your mama cook.
Auntie Ella's house is across the street.
Yeah, but mama's at church and I'm home there.
Hey, Calvin.
Hey, hey, twin.
So we prayed, I know what you came for.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go see Uncle Curtis. Yeah, I was. What happened? You and Dad don't like Lisa? Who? Lisa. Lisa. Yeah. You know, Lisa. I know Lisa.
Go on and tell 'em.
So you all don't like her? You can tell me. It's okay. How can I put this, baby? That girl can lie.
A lot.
Lie.
I just said, mm,
A lot.
a lot of what?
What is that?
A lot of everything.
All posted on social media. Yeah, she has a lot of crazy pictures. Everything is up and down. Push, pull. Just a lot. Yeah, okay. Why do you think so? Hey, what do you have
Ask
to
it.
say?
Remind me to change my face.
So,
Nope.
mommy don't like it. What do you say we don't like it?
Regular, same old day.
Stop that lie. You lie, ooh, you lie. You lie, ooh. Good.
Nothing more like her. She said we don't like it.
You don't like it?
He's not lying. wow. Sorry? It's all good. We just think you could do better. You know, a little bit. 1 to 10, I can only take like a 0.5 with that. Sorry, dude, I really am. It's okay. Just devastated. I'm gonna. Hey, how you going? To go find my heart. It's been crushed over. Wait, just let me clearly. I am so tired. And you gotta be home soon. So we just gotta be home. Tell me so soon. So you can tell us whatever this is you want to say. Okay. So tired.
That ain't gonna last long.
All right, well, thank you. Okay.
Why you like that, boy?
Well, I don't think.
Well, you was different.
I thought.
What the hell? What a fucking hair. Why do you leave that outside?
Because I don't want you in here.
I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. So that's what you do. I'm going to come on. Never. What you doing here? No. You're supposed to be in college. Why are you here?
Anything to eat, honey? Anything to eat? Milk, dresser, cream wheat, one of the two. One of the three. What's your problem? I can give him food or time outside or something. I don't know what his problem is, but he just gotta go potty.
No, maybe I love you, but I'm not opening the door. Okay? Not opening the door. Ooh, you take too much. Look, hey, send that boy away and I'll open the door.
Everything I got in church is collectively. Help me hold this juicy.
Come on now, brother. You are really something else. Why are you in my house? Why are you in my house? Why are you in my house? I'm saving your life. You want to play games?
told you to do the thing. I don't need no bigger shoes. You just need to open the door.
Took it way more last night, huh?
You know what?
Yeah, seems like it.
Stop being empty.
Well, it rained this morning, yeah.
I'm going to change.
Oh, no, man, that's good. That's good. You gonna say, hurry up, you just get that pretty good at me. Say, hey, don't let me say,
I'm not cooking.
we ain't about to go through this, I know. We ain't going through this, y'all. Say what?
I'm not cooking.
What do you mean you're not cooking?
You love me, I've been so I'm not cooking. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
All of my work all week. All week.
What?
I'm not a dirt in that pocket.
Stop saying that. You are behind.
I'll get another one, but
This is dry, it's pretty wet.
On my nerves.
sand for the concrete.
You really left me out there. You really didn't open that door. What's on you? Listen. All right, right. Hey, you just hit me. I'm sitting right here. Sensitive.
That's the problem.
Malik, go on, talk to you.
I'm not talking to you.
Go on, go on.
Ella, get some dinner with me.
I know that, so go on in there. And start dinner. I'm so hungry. I'm hungry too. It's time to go on. After I say it, go on, Malik, talk to you.
You gonna do that? What, you gonna do it? What are you gonna say? Your face is not out. I know you love me. I know you love me too. I love you love me too. Cause you in my shape.
This is a living room, not a man cave.
I'm a bear.
Right about that, baby. I'm trying to watch the game. I know. You need to talk to me. The hell is this?
Look, I'll shoot straight. We all know you're retarded, so you probably see crazy right now. Don't be down, Shane. This position is BlackRock, the Trumps, and some of the biggest whales are taking in certain points right now that they're signifying a giant, stupid, Kim Kardashian ass-sized pump in certain industries and crypto right now. And even scarier is the massive dump that looks like they're going to trigger shortly after these massive gains. And I was going to make some big videos. Big intro showing the six-pack, but I have to rush up dog shit, because if you have any hope of taking positions in these coins at super low 10, 20 realistic 20x prices from these entries, this info is going to be irrelevant in a couple of days. So I have to deep in my network and just throw this shit at the wall, because people that see this are going to be able to take positions that are nice, cozy, and comfortable, because when we roll here, these are going to get into immense profit very quickly, and you're just going to ride them out for the rest of the roll. And if you don't get into these, you're going to have to take massive risks that is going to open you up to that massive dump I talked about earlier, because you're going to pull out of these just as fast as they pull in. So all I'm going to show you is what is happening that's going to trigger this massive dump, and then where these pumps are going to be at. The specific industries, the specific projects, I think they're going to lead this. Let's talk about it. Now, before I show you these things, quick warning. Subscribe, like this video. Here's why. I literally set it up so that people that subscribe to my videos see these first. Second, my meme coin is still dropping as soon as it hits a certain point, as I put on my Twitter. But the coins are going to be given to people on the whitelist. And to be on the whitelist and get preferential treatment, I can see who's... Second, my meme coin is still dropping as soon as it drops. It's a certain point that I put on my Twitter. But the coins are going to be given to people on the whitelist. And to be on the whitelist and get preferential treatment, I can see who's liked these videos. I can see who's subscribed. Very easy to scrape with AI these days. If you're a sub, you're a frequent liker, you're going to have preferential treatment on that whitelist. You can do that right now. I'll give you a second. Smash the like. Look, I'll shoot straight. We all know you're retarded, so you probably see crypto pumping right now. But what you don't see on chain is positions that black.
feel like the chicken
Look,
is
I'll shoot straight. We all know you're retarded. So
Just spins off.
either way, that's what Trump is doing right now on the U.S. debt. And if you think he's not going to pump the absolute shit out of this going in the midterms, I think you're crazy. This guy.
He's fucking crazy. Huh?
Must be on something.
Yeah, yeah. Look at him.
Gentlemen, two girls that watch this channel, I'm going to get right into it. The prices that we're seeing right now are the best prices we've seen since the FX crash, bar none. Every single altcoin indicator, every oversell indicator. We're all in here and assume that we're all spending money at this point. I kind of had it up to you, not what I got. It's getting to $400, $600, not unlikely. Okay? But we've seen we go below this, and here's the massive up.
What was that raining water? I told you we were supposed to rinse it off.
Buy this shit. There's a lot to talk about in this video. It's a quick update video that I make. I don't usually do these, but what we're seeing today in the charts and what we're seeing today in the mass sales of panic is unprecedented. It's the worst thing since. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me at CSS Vector on Twitter. A lot of these coins, a lot of things I'm going to talk about, I've already talked about 1,000 times already on Twitter. It takes me 2 seconds to write a tweet. You want to get things earlier, be first. You should follow. Alright, let's get one thing straight. We all know why you're here. You see Trump pumping, you see crypto pumping, and you're finally thinking to yourself, oh, I think it's time to.
Huh?
Look, I'll shoot straight. We all know you're retarded. So you're probably see crypto pumping right now. But what you don't see on chain is positions that it's close. And some of the are taking at certain points right now. They're signifying a giant, stupid, Kim Kardashian-ass size pump in certain industries in crypto right now. And even scarier is the massive dump that looks like they're going to trigger shortly after these massive gains. And I was going to make some big video. Big intro showing the six pack. But I have dog shit. Any hope of taking positions in these coins at super low 10, 20, realistic 20x prices.
All they want to do is go out there for a few seconds and then come back in. I see a bunch of stuff on the ground right there. It's trash? Or is that all the hangers?
What?
Is that all the hangers or is that trash?
It should be trash, not hangers.
Okay. It's trash. There's a bunch of hangers too.
Where these pumps are going to be at. Specific industries, the specific projects, I think they're going to leak this. Let's talk about it.
Come on, Gringo.
Quick warning, subscribe, like this video. Here's why. I literally set it up so that people that subscribe to my videos see these first. Second, my meme coin is still dropping as soon as you can certain point, which I put on my Twitter. But the coin's going to be given to people on the whitelist. And the B on the whitelist is preferential treatment. I can see who's liked these videos. I can see who's subscribed. Very easy to scrape with AI. If you're a sub, you're a favorite liker, you're going to have preferential treatment on that whitelist. So do that right now. I'll give you a second. Smack the like button. Okay, let's get into it. So, here's what we're going to get in real short order. And I know you're looking for specific blankets, the specific projects. I'll get that in a second. First thing we need to talk about is this pumping, why it's happening. You probably don't understand why. I'm going to make it crystal clear and what it actually means. And I'm going to break it down with the on-chain data. You're showing something way bigger here. You need to see this because the right people are getting into the right things. All the big money's moving over here. And all the wrong stupid money, the people that's almost at the wrong time, they're all sidelined, setting us up for a perfect situation where this market's going to pump super hard and we can dump everything on retirees and old people and run for the hills. It's a perfect setup. Thanksgiving's going to be awesome this year. All of grandma's money will become your money. Grandma. She doesn't need to be going to Dubai. She doesn't have to fund 6 million Bangalore colleges. You need it more than her. And then I'm going to ask you a question.
only want to get hockey water.
So quick review of what just happened. It's gonna be quick.
What are you looking to boil from?
Some of them are like on Twitter. Like you follow me on Twitter.
This is for your oatmeal.
So look, let's review. I'm sure we all remember this huge dump right here, and everyone's been calling it the bear market or whatever. Now look, last video when you were down here, I was telling you to buy it. I'm not taking it seriously. But before I claim too much clout, I know you think I'm God. I know you know I'm the alpha copy. I know you literally will make a single buying or selling decision without checking the feedback of the tri-state orange eating champion. But to confirm all the haters, I've been telling you to buy every single one of these crashes all the way down. Every single one. And why? Because what I think we've seen here is extremely similar to what we saw right here. Now, if you look at the chart, this is the 2020 run right here. Now, if you look before the 2020 run, we saw a lot of massive runs. We saw Bitcoin do a 3-4x. We saw it literally do a 4-5x and then repeat and give back all the gains, just like we just saw. And what I think is happening right here, and a lot of people are going to call me crazy for it, is I don't think we even see a bull run yet. I think we saw some deformed, muted, freak, inbred, retard cow get loose in the pasture and start running around, and it had like fake antlers on, and everyone's like, boom, boom, boom. But really, it was just some mean coin, circle jerk, sweaty orgy between all the crypto traders currently in it, and then we lost all our money to some fat kid in Argentina. I don't think that was the bull. I think it was some retard muted inbred cow. I think we had to put it down, take it off the pasture, and people were really disappointed because they were waiting for the true big ball bull.
Be quiet. No barking. Lay down. Now. Lay down. Sit down. Be quiet. Get in your spot. Now. 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 Lay down in your spot. Lay down. Sit down in your spot and shut up. And this time we decided to all genuinely believe them. Like I was telling you this entire way through, I was buying each Cardano, everything this entire way through because I just couldn't take it seriously. This is why I was saying buy every single day. Because I think if you go and look at the prices... No barking, lay down. Sit down and be quiet. Now. I think any prices we buy... I want to beat that butt. Beat that apple. Lay down. Apple, apple, ass. Beat that ass. Lay down. And the reason I'm saying buy, I've been saying buy in all these situations, because I don't think lay down. Remotely close to the all-time highs. I think what we're going to see later this year is going to make the all-time highs we saw last in all-time look like ant poop. It's going to look like a Cardano holder's dick. It's very unthreatening and only operable with tweezers. But that's fine, because even Cardano holders are going to get so rich in this one that even they can get laid. You 5'2" neckbeards to make up the 90% viewership of this channel, you have a chance. You're not going to have the six-pack. You're not going to have the big bucks like the most woke. You're not going to have a jawline that cuts through steel. You're just going to have to show chicks in Dubai, your big bank account. They're going to drop OnlyFans, immediately move on to your yacht, and you're going to spend the rest of your days watching the type of mess. It's going to be a dream come true, a real Dubai royalty kind of experience. But on a good note right here, a lot of people have been giving me a lot of shit. I'm like, why eat this entire way down right here? Like, I don't care. I'm buying an 1800. I'm buying a sub 2000. I'm buying all these prices right here because I think it is almost a surety that we see ETH return to an all-time high. Here is why. If you look at the on-chain data right now, the accumulation we're seeing on Bitcoin from institutions and now just giant whales is ridiculous. We are seeing people buying billion-dollar almost puts. We're seeing BlackRock eat this up. These are the people that control it. We're seeing the Trumps buying. We're seeing giant whales buying. We're seeing more whales being created than ever before. And we're seeing the exact same things on ETH. Now look, we're going to need this. Here's what we're seeing. We're seeing this crazy. 2017. 2018. Yeah, back to 20 now. 2018. We're doing good in 2018. 2014. 2014. Yeah, went up to $28. I should have cashed it out. It's the same thing every day as soon as you get up. It's at all-time high. As soon as you start looking at it, it goes down. It's a guaranteed morning certainty. We haven't talked about the morning certainty. Yeah, it went up to 2 point. 7 million. Something.
What are the new flashlights in there then? What does it look like? There's like the bottles and there's like box. $2024 last year. was like,
sitting in a
I
gay
don't know
bar,
what to do.
dressed like a pink Japanese schoolgirl, who has mentioned masturbation and the word retardation at least 52 times in this video so far. I am not fault with you.
Did you hear what he said?
I put it in perfect English. There is phenomenal risks we're taking when doing this. This is financial gambling. This is not investing. You want good responsible advice. There's plenty of good investing skills on this.
Okay.
You are looking at a guy sitting in a gay bar, dressed like a pink Japanese schoolgirl, who has mentioned masturbation and the word retardation at least 52 times in this video so far. I am not at fault right here if you lose your money. It's your fault. I put it completely in purple crown below this video in a very well-worded disclaimer. Please read it. Now, if we do both, these type of movements on alts. Now, if we don't both, here's what's going to happen. You can see the worst-case scenario right here is already played out in a lot of these altcoins. We are already down 60, 70, 80% on altcoins from the recent highs last year. If we do not, and we go bearish right here, you can expect to lose another 50%. I think if we're going up to a roulette table in Vegas, and there's a red-black betting situation, but red pays out 30x, and if you lose, you only lose 50%. I think that's a phenomenal bet. So I am taking that bet. I'm letting the roulette ball spin. I don't know where it's going to land, but I know the bet returns are ridiculous. That's why I'm taking the bet. Please understand it. I don't want anybody quoting me saying, bet for City 100%, we're going to bowl from here. No, bet for City doesn't know what's going to happen, but he thinks if we do bowl, we're going to see phenomenal returns. So, that in mind, where are we going to see the phenomenal return? I'm going to get into some big chunks of right now. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a list of all the really small, juicy coins. They're going to do the crazy numbers that are really high risk. I want to get into the things that most people should be looking at. I mean, most people, no one should. You should never buy crypto under any circumstance. But I'm speaking to an audience of heroin addicts right here, telling you not to try the latest new form of crack cocaine. I know you're going to go do it. So, like, it, you know, here's the best drug dealer in town. That's what we're doing right here. But I'm going to try and give you the drugs that are at least likely to make you OD. So that when all you newcomers right here come and shove this crap up your ass trying to get high as fuck, the death toll is like, I don't know, not as bad as it could be. But I'll give you the stuff that will help you OD at the end of this video. So stay tuned as we get through that. So where do we start at right here? So the one thing I just want to point out before we talk about this is if you look at the search volumes, the views on YouTube, not just my channel, but all channels around, everything is basically at bear market lows right now. Like this is probably the hardest.
He didn't send me a message yet.
We're releasing content in crypto. One, because releasing content in crypto is equivalent to rubbing battery acid, dealing with new people, and if the crypto audience as a whole, I'd rather see the cucumber covered in sandpaper up my butt. But as you know, this is a very gay channel, so that's technically something I enjoy doing in my free time.
No barking.
Anyway, I don't stick cucumbers up my butt. Not since I was like, not at least
1972.
Not ever. All right, so look, crypto has no attention right now, and usually you can gauge crypto markets by the attention that's going on YouTube, Twitter, and everywhere else pretty accurately. For example, so when you start seeing these videos getting millions of views, you better just start running for the hills. Like the second I start to get popular, it's the #1 indicator. You should just dump everything immediately. So the second we're busting out 800,000 views a video, you should seppuku your backs, sell them to your grandmother, move to Dubai, because your grandmother is going to kill you afterwards. So what's going to blow up? What industry is going to blow up? Overall, decentralized finance is going to go crazy. Now, what is decentralized finance? It's really just all the big coins, right? So, for example, I really like ETH. Everybody else hates ETH, and I get why people hate ETH.
About getting out of
And
this.
I don't think you're going to see the biggest returns on ETH. I think seeing a $6,000, $8,000 ETH is totally possible here. But woohoo, that's like a 3-4x. With that being said, I think ETH is a
Get
pretty
something
sure
that's
bet,
more
but
movable.
I think we can have a bull run even if ETH doesn't perform well. If we see Solana take off, if we see Cardano take off, we see XRP
This one.
take off, and Ethereum really starts to fall behind, which I don't think is going to happen, we're still going to see an alt run. Okay, we're going to see Bitcoin. I
She
think
has
probably
moved.
charging $150,000 to $200,000. I think we're going to see massive FOMO with everything that's happening in the world. So myself, if you're just like a big giant investor, I have a huge amount of my net worth in Bitcoin. I have a lot of money in ETH, but I'm not looking at these giant returns on that. I'm looking to double hold those for a long time. So those are how we treat those things. If we're looking for the big gains, here's where we go. So I think Solana probably could do a 5x from here. I don't like Solana that much because I think the coins about to mention are just going to outperform. I think Solana's going to do great. I don't think they're going to go wrong holding Solana. I think meme coins are going to do stupid, crazy returns on Solana, and that's going to drive the price up really high on Solana, just like we saw before. I'm not really into meme coins because they are hard to trade. Despite their appearance of being easy, beginner-friendly things, it's by far the hardest, most riskiest form of crypto to get into, the hardest to read, the hardest to predict, and the most dangerous when it crashes because it
coins don't come back a lot of the time. We want to find coins that, if they crash, they're only going to crash at 50, 60%, which sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot in crypto. And coins that will be here 4 or 5 years from now, if we want to be safer gamblers, safer drug addicts here. So where I would start at, and perhaps one of my biggest altcoin bets, is unfortunately, this makes me want to pour battery acid in my eyes again, but it's going to be Cardano. Look, it breaks my soul to tip the hat to these 5'2", neck-beard, Tucker McFluffs, live under their staircase while they're then bang their wife, Harry Potter motherfuckers, the Cardano community. But I think this is probably going to be one of the top performers. I think this is probably going to go to like $4 or $5, and we're going to see a clean 5, 8, maybe even 10x on Cardano. I think we're going to see crazy numbers on Sui. I don't really own any Sui. I don't really actually understand what it does. I don't care. But everybody's talking about it, and it has crazy hype behind it. You see this thing is always doing the biggest moves. And so if I was a wise investor, I'd probably be buying Sui. I am not, but I think it's going to do really well. I think AVAX is going to chase up with Cardano. I think you could probably see similar Cardano-like gains on AVAX. I think it's going to be the leader for crypto gaming, which I think is going to be a massive narrative. And later this year, which I'll talk about in a second, I think Dogecoin is going to do very well. I think Hype is going to do very well. And I think Ondo is going to do very well. That kind of falls into the RWA niche that we'll talk about in a second. That's what I would be kind of building my portfolio with. If you want to get really basic, just get a bag of Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, maybe some Sui if you're feeling risky, AVAX. You're going to do well there. If you're just like brand new to this and you don't know what the is going on, I don't see you going massively in loss if you don't borrow here from that bag. But I also see you making some really solid returns from these, because these are still near their lows. For example, if you go look at AVAX right here, over the last year, we bought it at $9 when we were buying in 2023. So this one we got a lot of AVAX on the channel. Got all the way up here, got up to about $50, got a 5x. Now we're down again to $22. I think we're going to go well past this all-time high to $100, $150, maybe even $200 on AVAX if we get really thirsty. So that's the kind of game we're playing with these coins right here. If we don't roll, we're probably going right back to like $9, $12 on this thing. If something crazy happens. So that's kind of the same exact story with all these coins right here. You're not going to go bankrupt investing in these things, but you're not going to make like the crazy fortune color gains in there. It's a good place to be. So what places are going to do very well? I think the best places to be looking at right now, outside of I think meme coins are going to do the biggest. If you're looking for the crazy X's, those crazy dream team crypto stories, those 30 X's a day kind of stuff, that's going to be a meme. But those are so wildly unpredictable, and they crash super hard. So for example, we're going to look at Show Guy right here. So if you go look at Show Guy, this thing went up to like a market cap of $1 billion or $700 million.
Stop.
Now it's down to $31 million.
Not gonna deal with your mouth.
The reason why meme coins are so dangerous is yes, you're going to see these type of returns or these type of gains on meme coins, but it's so hard to predict which one of them to do that. Because one, it's a lot of just insider massive trading, so you have to be on the insider club to know that. And even if you can predict them, it's wildly hard. Like you pick 20 of them, and like one of them does this, other ones don't. And then if you don't sell at the right time, you lose all your money. And I don't think Show Guy is coming back. It could someone just quote me on this channel, make a video in response to $1 billion and say, look how stupid Alex is. I know he's extremely handsome. I know he's extremely famous. I know his six-pack has made me have gay fantasies despite myself assuming that I'm straight, which you're not. You watch this channel. There's a tinge of gay in you. Just admit it. But I don't know if Show Guy's coming back. And this situation right here is really bad. And so if you're like anywhere near beginner, or you were just like, this is not where I want to play at. This is too hard. So that's why I'm not really getting into meme coins. I will mention 2 in this video, but that's where I'm going to stop. So where I think you need to be looking, if you're finding a middle ground of gains and risk, is it's going to be AI, it's going to be RWA, and I think if you're being clever, it's going to be NFTs and community coins. I think gaming coins are going to do very well, but later this year, and I'm not going to get into that narrative so much in this video. I'm going to talk gaming coins that I think are going to be great. I do think that's going to be one of the top return narratives, but it's a little bit more of a, think about it. It's kind of more of an active trade. So I'll talk about those, but let's just get into this for a second. So where would I be starting? And again, at the end of the video, I'm going to get into the really dirty coins and get those crazy gains in these niches. Just hold tight, okay? So where do I start at? If we're getting into AI, here's where we want to be looking at, all right? Top big coins. So I would go, I really like here, but I think the top performing coin is going to be Tau. And here's what's going to happen. AI, I can give you the entire narrative, but at the end of this video, there's going to be a link to an AI video that breaks up everything going on in AI, the tech behind it, and why it's going to come. I'm not going to do this in this video because I want to hurt you. And frankly, I know you don't give a
Yeah.
shit. Like, you just want to see what's going to go pumpy, big bags, pump and dump on grandma, and run for the hills. I get that. You're not here for the tech. Neither am I. I don't give a shit. I just want to get rich really quickly. Actually, do it richer very quickly. At the moment, I'm like yacht rich, but I'm not spaceship rich. I'm trying to get spaceship rich here. What I think is going to happen in AI is I think Tao is going to do a crazy move to like a 10 billion, 8 billion, something crazy. It's going to join the top 15 cryptos. And that's going to create this narrative throughout all of AI for all these coins below it, driving them to crazy numbers. And AI is by far the hottest narrative in all investing right now outside of crypto. And I think it's about to get 10 times hotter. Because what I'm seeing, I work in tech. I build software companies. That's where I make most of my money. This is my immature 16-year-old side job. This is my embarrassing, degenerate habit that I enjoy partaking on the weekends. And first off, why the is Fartcoin listed as an AI big data coin on coin? What the market cap? What does a coin about farts have to do with AI? We're gonna see people come on and you're like, oh, I went with the AI application of ass gases. What are you doing? What intern is running your list? All right, you combine it all together, the things and the narrative that I talk about AI. I think that's gonna drive tally crazy numbers, and I think it's gonna drive everything off with it. So where I'd be building my portfolio would be tech. By the way, the last couple months, I've been telling you to just buy all of this right here, and you can see the crazy gains we've seen on Tao from these points right here. That's also telling you to buy 2023. So, like, you'd be sitting really fat if you just put your dick in the pencil sharpener just a little bit, but whatever. I think this is going to $1,000 market cap. I think it's going to do great. So if I'm building a big kind of lower risk, this is all massive risk, but a lower risk, massive risk bag in AI, I'm going to start at Tau, and then I'm going to go and grab AOS. This is probably one of the bigger chunky coins on here. And then I'm probably going to grab, if I'm looking for the really high returns with like Russian roulette-like risk, I'm going to go for Desktop. Now, there's a lot of other really good ones on here, like Tau, OXO. I think ZigChain is really phenomenal, but that's also kind of ties into the RWA list. Echelon Prime, really great. These prices right here. But if I'm building a bag, that's where I'm going to start out with AI. If y'all want the juicy ones, they're going to do is 20, 30 X's. That's going to be up in this video. Now, RWA coins. So we recently saw go and commit massive seppuku. Now, that wasn't like a big bag of mine or anything like that, but it is a little bit irking seeing one of the top RWA coins just completely rough. Fair warning to you, like if you're in crypto and you have a bag of 20 coins, 3, 4 of them are going to just go to absolute zero and turn out to be ran by goblins from Mordor in Middle Earth. They're going to look all professional and great, and then they're going to unveil the back room, and there's a bunch of like 1 foot tall dudes with neck beards that go down to their crotch, mouth breathing, all sweaty, body spray, running the project. Everyone's going to go, it's going to go. So just be prepared for that. That's just part of it. This is the biggest space of scammers, bullshit, degenerates, and none of the coins actually do anything. It's essentially just all Ponzi schemes. This is what happens when you go and bang 20 hookers in the back red light district of Amsterdam. You're not going to walk away with a clean bill of health on every phone. It's just how it is, all right? If you don't want a big flaming case of herpes, maybe don't fuck prostitutes. If you don't want to see coins get rugged, if you don't want to see investments go to zero, maybe you shouldn't be in crypto, you asshole. So please understand that. So where I would start RWA, I think Ondo's going to do super duper well, especially because people are a little bit hesitant on these top RWA coins because of I don't think Ondo is a scam. I hold a lot of Ondo, but I'm going to tell you right here, you never know. But you can see even I'm a little bit worked off by I think Ondo's going to do super duper well. Now, if I'm continually going down right here, there are so many good RWA coins that are open right now. The reason why RWA is something called pump is because it's basically taking everything in the real world, like houses, stocks, real world assets.
This body is
and
not
converting them and
open.
putting them on chain.
2
This is a
blankets
massive narrative for BlackRock and
trash
major
bag.
investment institution.
and a
Almost
little
as
black
company
bag.
don't need as AI. So what I would then also be going is RWA coins is really down on that. I really like Clearpool. I think Maker and VeChain will go great. Those are kind of where I would be hanging out if I want to be safe. If I
I'll
want
open this body on
the
Friday.
best kind of Desper-like coin on here, I'd pick Kinley. And then I would go with ZigChain. It's not listed right here, but ZigChain really ties into AI. It really ties into RWA. And so I think ZigChain is probably one of like the secret winners right
Another
now
one?
in RWA. I think it's going to do phenomenally well. So that's what I'd be doing if I'm doing RWA. Now, the other place I want to talk about is blue chip memes and community coins. So what are blue chip memes? I'll tell you what I mean by that. It's really simple. I think Fartcoin is going to do stupid fucking well. Look, don't buy off of this. I am so bad at picking meme coins. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't listen to me on this. But I think Fartcoin is going to do stupid well. I think it's going right back up to its old market cap. And I think this is like the chosen meme. actually going to be Pengu. Okay, I told you guys to check this out. And I realized it took a big dump from the top right here. Okay, that's what happens when you have the biggest brand in NFTs go and drop a coin. It's going to do this kind of stuff right here. But I think Pudgy Penguins has so much potential for a lot of different reasons. First off, the branding behind it is generally like it's the new Mickey Mouse. I think this is going to be like the Hello Kitty in the real world. We're seeing Pudgy Penguins, massive penetration, deep, girthy, moist penetration all over the world right now, and actual toys and stuff like that. It's so damn well run. Luca, the founder of it, I think he's probably one of the best project runners in all of crypto right now. Very impressive young man. They just know what they're fucking doing. Took this balls to earth, bought it, and has turned it into a giant thing. I don't think that's going to stop because he's a psycho. I bet on him all day. Third, I think it's probably going to be one of the best NFT collections to own. And so it's just wonderful. And then Pengu ties into communities, it ties into video games, it ties into memes. I think we're going to be going back. I don't, maybe not to the all-time highs right there because they are pretty large, but I think we're going to see some really, really good returns on Pengu. So that's probably my top meme coin if I'm going by what I hold. I also hold Smart Coin. I think it's going to do stupid well. Buy the ass-gas coin. It's obviously an AI now. I mean, according to Coin Market Cap, this is a leader in AI. We got to get Jensen playing from the video up on stage to talk about his Taco Bell farts because apparently it ties into this shit now. That's what I think is going to be really well. And this is going to be my last crazy call. I think NFTs are going to make a huge comeback. Now, with me mentioning Pudgy, I think ApeCoin has a chance of doing something really good right here. Apes are still very powerful, and they still got so much money in the bank. I think we see really good returns on ApeCoin. I would pick Pengu over ApeCoin, but if you want to hold both, there we go. And if I'm looking at NFT assets, if you're rich, okay, if you're not rich, don't go buy a $73,000 pixelated picture of a person, okay. But if you are, man, CryptoPunks, get a CryptoPunk, get a Pudgy Penguin. I think our NFTs at Neo-Tokyo are going to do stupid well because gaming is going to pick up, and that's the only NFT project that's leading the way in gaming right now. That's the only one, the only community that's tied into all of that. I would get into Neo-Tokyo, but I'm not trying to pump my project too much right here. I think it'll just speak for itself. In classics like the Denzas, and to some extent, maybe Beeples, and I think Apes are going to make a comeback as well. I would be grabbing them. I would be grabbing at least some small Pudgy Penguins. They're lower version on these. And if you're a smaller investor, you can grab the S2 NFTs from Neo-Tokyo. You can grab the smaller versions of the Pudgies. You can grab the Muted Apes and Dogtown NFTs from Apes. Those are going to also, I think, do very well. Are they going to get the 30Xs you're going to see on some of these coins and some of the juicy things I'm about to talk about in the smaller projects? No, but I think long-term, I think punks and like penguins definitely some of the best long-term investments you can make in crypto, especially at these prices. Now, on to the really juicy stuff. The crazy, pumpy, dumpy, oopy-doopy, retire your entire family AI coins and RWA coins. Those are going to be in this video right here. It's about to pop up. We'll pop up here in a second. On top of that, before you go and watch that video, like and subscribe. If you are subscribed to this channel, I set it up so subscribers see these videos first. Obviously, crypto is a zero-sum game. You need to be first to the information. This is how you're going to see it. On top of that, subscribe and like because I can see everybody subscribe and the people that are liking the most. You're going to get preferential treatment and early access because I'm rewarding my most engaged followers with whitelist access to my info. Again, I'm not making any money from it. We're just releasing chaos. I'm taking 0 Bitcoin. Finally, follow me on Twitter at CSS Becker because I can only run these videos once a week, usually once every 2 weeks. It takes a while to make them. You don't want to be getting content exclusive from the Zoom. Follow me on Twitter because that's where you get the moment-to-moment updates. That would have gone into Pengu. That would have gone into Tau. That would have worked through a lot of things I've done. They've done very well. Super duper early to the minute. Okay, check out these AI coins and everything if you want to get really high. This is the Crystal Meth, the Jacket 3D, the Axe Body Spray Sweaty Games earners that you could probably looking for this entire video. I will see you next video. Actually, this is the last video. It just been pops up. Little real moment. It's our last video in this studio. Never again. The Jiu-Jitsu Gay Bar studio is being retired because I am moving. So take it in, I guess. The studio where we can deliver you that low quality terrible content, it's being retired. So take it in and I'll see you around. Bye.
He gets his inheritance this afternoon. That's why we're moving. We're going to turn all our bills off that we need to pay. And then take a long vacation.
Less than 24 hours from this footage, Ina Knoyer's husband, Steve Riley, was life-flighted to the hospital due to a sudden sickness that immobilized his body. Within an hour of being at the hospital, he would pass away.
I thought everybody knew.
What the cop doesn't realize at this time is that Ina is a very good actor, and she knows far more about Steve's sickness than she leads on. You see, Steve was less than an hour away from cashing in a $37 million inheritance payment when he became fatally ill. And as the multi-week investigation would progress, detectives would quickly discover that Steve's death was due to poisoning. Someone had killed him. And everyone close to Steve all had dire needs to claim his newfound fortune by any means necessary.
It was like 20-something million. Best thing you can do is get on a plane and don't look back.
This body cam was recorded the night before Steve Riley's death. Steve and Ina's drunken neighbor had been harassing them and other residents of the neighborhood, so Ina called 911 to de-escalate the situation. What makes this specific footage interesting is not the situation with their drunken neighbor, but rather what Ina would tell police after her $37 million inheritance fund that she's just hours away from cashing in.
You just called me. Why didn't you call him?
I can't get through.
Yeah. Hold on. You can't hear him really well though.
Hello? Hello. Check an echo in there.
Right? Sounds weird. Tell him to call back again.
Yeah, can you hear me? It doesn't ring. It didn't ring.
You've been sitting here looking at your phone.
Which one? Which number? 213? Okay, okay. Okay, bye.
Want you to call now?
Yeah.
Here. Got my phones? I don't know what the fuck that was. I hear myself.
Yeah, bro. Nothing. How's it going? He got mad because when he paid the 200 pesos, I was trying to get some money off the internet, and I didn't go out and talk. When he came to drop the 200 pesos, I didn't go out and talk to him because I was trying to get some money from this chick off the internet. And he got mad. He's like, I saw him go in there. How come he's not talking to me? Like, bro, because you want to fucking, you want 2 hours to talk, and I'm not gonna give up my time. He's just trying to steal time. so he doesn't have to work, and so that he can fucking take up your time to talk about nothing really. So he got mad. So I doubt he's gonna bring any more money back because I didn't go talk to him. But I was trying to get some money off the thing. I had $15 coming, and I was trying to get it from this chick. And if you sometimes like last night I missed $20. I'm trying to get it now, but it's just free money for clicking on stuff. You know what I mean? For liking videos and things. And you try to get it, and then they tell you, okay, click on this video, and then you can get $15, $20. So then they do it, and then you have to be there and try to get it. Well, he pulls up with his 200 peso payment, and Nancy went outside to get it, and I didn't go out there and talk to him for an hour or two. So I think he got mad. Well, it's going to take him 20 weeks to pay off a week and a half worth of wages. No, it's rained. It was raining this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. Still really cloudy and dark. It's not supposed to rain anymore, but it still looks like it could. It's raining right over at the next mountain over, right over there, like over towards TJ and towards La Gloria. It's raining over there. I can see it. It looks like it is. It's pretty dark and pretty thick right there. But yeah, it rained this morning and gave us a nice little water for walking this one. I'm trying to put in a couple steps. Little steps right here from out there. Really, going down to a little place down there. Yeah, I kind of feel like the kid should be coming back pretty soon. He gets fucking. Here's any kind of rumors or any kind of any ideas that I have any kind of money or anything, he'll be right back over there like fucking.
That's why you don't tell him shit.
Fucking right on the old tip. I know, I'm not telling him nothing. I'm not telling nobody nothing. You're the only one that knows. You're the only one that knows. I tell Robert, fuck that motherfucker, he needs to pay. I don't want Jersey back over here fucking nursing again, fucking sucking out the city. Nipples again. Oh yeah. Can I give you 10 pesos and let me shit in your bathroom? Ha ha ha.
No. No.
I'm gonna try to get the bathroom done. I'm gonna try to get the shower hooked up and everything. So I'll finish. I should be able to with a couple $100. Yeah. That's who'd be happy with that. Get a tank of gas and get the water hooked up and take a big old bath. Yeah, it'd be nice. We'll soak in there for a full 24 hours probably, maybe 48. Just trying to get all the year's worth of dirt off. Robert? Oh. Yeah, I think he's gonna be mad. Right? He's gonna be mad at me.
It's bullshit.
That was the draw.
300 pesos to totally say.
300 pesos total out of 4,000. Alright, okay, bro. Okay, bro. Okay. Alright, you too.
I understand.
How are we gonna take that long?
So it only goes to 3,700 now.
Yeah, but I need all of it right now.
I know.
It's not how it's.
What's that hot? $194. 2,700 is 19. That's $194. What are you gonna do?
Just kind of bullish.
Somebody killed somebody's wife?
I'm gonna
2 days ago.
Wood Hills. It's really tough to tell at this point in time if there's more than one person inside the vehicle. We don't know if it's a male or a female. We haven't got that information from the LAPD.
This is Griffin. He's only 50 years old and he managed to steal over $60,000 in less than 2 hours. This isn't a typical story.
2 hours.
In fact, steal might not even be the right word.
$50,000 in 2 hours.
Griffin, even though
No, he didn't steal it.
It says stolen.
Some system. Instead, he used a far more clever and sneaky approach, collecting the money through Lincoln, one of the wildest and most chaotic parts of cryptocurrency. He pulled up a plan so clever that it left investors furious and the internet in shock. What makes the story so wild isn't just the amount of money or how quickly he made it. It's the way he did it. Griffin created even once Lincoln, capitalizing on an unpredictable, hype-driven nature to manipulate the value and cash out big. But what's even crazier is seeing the entire process viral, laughing and celebrating as people rushed in to buy into his coin. The aftermath was nothing short of chaos. He was being called a scammer by previous investors who lost their money, and the crypto community even went as far as exposing his
Smart, Eddie.
and walked away with over $60,000 in land about 2 hours.
That's too bad. In 2 hours. In 2 hours. That's too bad.
He scams people.
That's too bad. You have to know that you can put your money in there. I told you. A millisecond.
He stole from people. He just said he scams people.
Honey, when you put your money in there, you gotta know that you can lose it all. That's not the
And how did he get it?
way.
He got all their money.
It's called rugged. He removed all the liquid. He built the coin.
Briefing Jimmy into the weather uniforms began next month ago, in April 1st, was the creative first contemplate. The fully decentralized
Oh, he made a little sensor.
complete control over the funds before
wallet.
bank and bank, allowing them to send, receive, and store digital assets. He started trading Lincolns on the Solana blockchain, the fast and largest blockchain built for trading Lincoln. With his wallet ready, Griffin funded with $25 and makes his first investment in a touching total of brilliant gains. This gain belongs to a specific trend or meta to the Lincoln world. Lincolns often follow meta, which affirms the gradual creation of similar tokens. The most famous and influential meta is the dog meta, inspired by Dogecoin. The very first Lincoln ever created in 2013, based on the viral Dogecoin. Dogecoin remains the largest Lincoln by market cap, printing at $62 billion. Its success inspired an entire wave of Dogecoin coins, making the dog meta one of the most popular coins in crypto. Today, 5 of the 10 largest Lincolns by market cap are dog related. Shiba Inu holds the number 2 spot, followed by Bond at number 4, Ruby 5 at number 5, and Floki at number 6. In April 2024, the trending meta was based on selected names in the English spells. This meta kicked off with coins like Joe Biden, which reached an all-time high of $750 million market cap, and Donald Trump, which stood $166 million. Following this trend, many other selected inspired tokens emerged, including the Blue James, which caught Griffin's attention. At the time, the coin's market capitalization was around $130,000. Griffin invested his entire $25 into the coin at this stage. As
See
the
that?
price started to rise and the coin's market cap hit $160,000, he saw even more potential. He added another $190 to his wallet and invested $22 of it into the coin, bringing his daily investment to $44. 2 hours later, Griffin's bet had paid off. His $44 investment had grown to $94. He had more than doubled his money in just a short amount of time. For Griffin, he was a breakthrough moment. It was the first time to realize the potential of Lincoln, and it seemed like everything Stone had promised about the crypto world was true. Encouraged by his success, he decided not to sell and take his profit. Instead, he reinvested, buying another $91 worth of the coin, increasing his total investment from $44 to $135. This time, he put it even better. 7 hours later, the coin's market cap soared to over $580,000, and his $135 investment was now worth $274. It was a huge win for Griffin. He was at $239, but still, he wasn't ready to sell. Convinced the coin would keep growing, Griffin doubled down again. This time investing $218 more, raising his total investment to $253. He now had 100% of his money invested in this coin, a dangerous and risky move. If the coin needed to perform well, Griffin still didn't lose everything. In investing, it's common practice to diversify your portfolio by spreading investments across multiple assets, whether in crypto or stocks. This strategy reduces the risk of relying on a single asset. Griffin quickly realized the danger of his decision. The making only his initial investments in the farm. He kept paying his coins, hoping the price would rise so he could make even more money. But little did he know, the disaster was just around the corner. Exactly 19 hours later, the development team behind the farm, Bradley, sending out the entire supply. Each crazy second microphone to comment for $500,000 to just $10,000 almost instantly. For briefing, the news couldn't have been worse. By the time he realized what had happened, his coins were almost worth nothing. In a desperate attempt to salvage what he could, he sold all of his tokens for just $16. After investing a total of $135 into the coin, he walked away with only $16, a net loss of $119. This was Griffin's first real taste of the fragility of Lincoln. He had been in a position to save for a $249 profit, but great inexperience got the better of him. What for father was a promising first day in crypto, taking time to a hard lesson, leaving Griffin with nothing but frustration and the reality check of how brutal the Lincoln world can be. Even though its first experience with Lincoln started in disaster, Griffin wasn't ready to give up. The idea of making millions still burned badly in his mind, and despite losing $119 in his first trade, he decided to keep going. Over the next few months, Griffin drove deeper into the creative world of Lincoln, making dozens of trades. He bought tokens with names like Stalin, Lewis, and Chips, often choosing coins clearly based on the time surrounding him. While some trades often small profits, $4, $10, or even $31, most of them ended in losses. Griffin quickly learned that the Lincoln market was volatile and unforgiving. By the time his first roll around dry, he had deposited $1,500 into it and lost it all. It was a devastating setback, as he believed in a dream of striking the roots with Lincoln's catching going. This is also the exact reason why so many people live on mining and continue to buy Lincoln. They later believe in a dream of making millions of dollars. Even after repeated losses, the hope of a massive payday keeps on coming back, convinced that the next time will be redemptive. Griffin was no exception. Despite losing a substantial amount, he still believes that the wealth was not long enough to fade away, as he wasn't ready to give up. Motivated to start first, he created a new wallet. He transferred the few leftover coins he had, deposited more money, and started trading again. This time, he felt confident that his growing experience will make a difference. Over the next 4 months, Griffin continued his trading journey. He believed he had cracked the code, but the results told a different story. While he did make some profitable trades, the losses far outweighed the wins. He celebrated small victories like earning $71 in one trade, but they were quickly overshadowed by losses as high as $164 and $121. In total, he deposited $1,900 into the wallet and lost it all for the second time. By now, Griffin had lost $3,300. The reality was beginning to set in. He started
Lost.
questioning everything. Was making money with Lincoln
Lost how much money?
impossible? Was it dream for himself just as started from the very beginning? This whole time, Griffin had been trading Lincolns, traded and runs by other people. What he failed to realize was that these developers weren't trading his coins for investors like him for profit. They were launching them to make money for themselves. The developers behind these coins were taking advantage of people like Griffin. They would launch a coin, build hype around it, and once enough people had bought in and pumped the price out, they would lock the project, leaving everyone else stuck with worthless tokens, while they walked away with all the profit. The story was filled with scammers, and as people grew tired of being constantly scammed, their interest in buying Lincoln started to fade, causing the Lincoln market to decline. This was around the time when compounds began gaining popularity in the Lincoln world. Compounds are platforms that anyone can trade or launch their own coins for just $3. Before compounds, trading and launching Lincolns was both expensive and complicated. The ordinary investors had no way of making their own coins. Only a select few had the skills and resources to do so, and those individuals took full advantage of the situation. They would break Lincolns, attract investors with no alternatives, and then scam them, either by controlling exactly the token supply or draining the liquidity, leaving everyone else with worthless tokens. When compound launched in January 2024, it was a game changer. Every coin created on the platform was 100% safe from traditional scams because developers could no longer pull liquidity or manipulate the token supply after launching a coin. This gave investors a sense of security, allowing them to buy coins on platform without the personal fear of being scammed. That's what everyone believes, at least. On platform, when you create a new coin, you have the option to invest in it before launching into the public. Developers quickly took advantage of this. Once they couldn't directly manipulate the second supply or liquidity, they could still be the very first to buy their coins. Being the very first investors allowed them to acquire massive amounts of tokens at incredibly low prices. Once others started buying in and tapping the price, these developers withdrew their holdings for massive profits. Crossing the chart, yet again, developers have found a way to stampede the out of their money. Briefly was tired of losing out. Time and time again, they have fallen victim to developers who exploited hard to make themselves rich. The need for scale was filled with bad actors, and briefly felt like finding a truly fair and honest project was impossible. But then, an idea sparked in his mind. What if I created my own coin? He thought, not a scam, but a genuine project. Briefly believed that if he launched the coin or proved it wasn't a lie, people would trust it. The project would gain traction, and his market cap could potentially reach millions. For the first time, he saw an opportunity to change his role in his story. Briefly was no longer just a trader, so ready to step into the world of new coin development.
Day one of working on my meme coin every day until it hits $1 billion in market cap. Here's my token, Bitcoin, and it is currently sitting at a $115,000 market. I launched this coin because I lost all my money doing multiple and scaling in the meme coin market, and I launched it with my last $20 and my friends and brother. Thank you guys for watching and make sure to tune in for day 3.
Which is a slogan that gives Bitcoin the creation of his first project, Hidden Salami. The plan for this project was simple. First, launch the coin. Use the leftover money to buy some of the second supply. Convince people it's not active so they will start buying new. Then, only after the coin hits $10 million market cap, take some profits out. Basically just saving it so we hit 10 million market cap.
So what you gonna do from there?
I'm gonna take some money out, maybe buy a couple things.
What's the first thing? What are you gonna buy? Tell us one thing you're gonna buy.
15, so I'm getting a car in a year. I just want to, honestly, I want to get nice stuff. And so he did. With only $22 left in his wallet, Ethan launched Peter Salama in Python on September 10th, 2024. It started slow, but after an hour and a half, the coin reached a $55,000 market cap, a successfully migrated to radio. From there, things only got better. The project began gaining popularity on social media as people connected with his story and the unique concept behind the coin. Within 5 hours, the coin's market cap had reached $250,000, and just 12 years later, it was closing in at $500,000. For briefing, this fell off the brakes that have been running for. When the coin continued to grow at this pace, it will release a $10 million market cap in no time. And not only will he make back every money that lost, but he will also have the mind to buy every buy. However, success in the Bitcoin market is never guaranteed. The fact that drugs is projects can be as unpredictable as the market itself. Bitcoin was about to learn just how quickly things can turn a turn for the world. Over the next 24 hours, the coin value steadily declined, eventually dropping to a market cap of $35,000. It was a significant fall, but Griffin was ready to give up on his project. Hoping to turn things around, he joined 4 different experts, passionately selling his story, and promoting his coin in an effort to draw more investors. Let's put on Solana. Sure. And then you press it on Solana, and then you open it up. Alright, so basically on the deck, I put on Solana. I put my last I lost all my money or gambling on Sunshine, and basically I'm here to be the best bet on Solana for the safe one.
You got did it on Solana, man. First time guest. How you doing today, buddy?
Good, bro. I want to say thank you on kid and welcome for letting me get on the show. First, I kind of want to talk about how I got into it really quick, really thing. So basically one of my friends introduced me to it. I used to research into it, and then, yeah, he started doing it. I don't know how he found out about it. So that started 3 or 4 months ago, and then I basically just started, I didn't really know it first, so I basically just started, pouring all my money into PS projects and whatnot, putting rugs all over, and basically just losing all my money, right? So then I usually go figure out like some way to make it back or just do something, and I basically had $20 left, and I was like, I'm gonna make a target. So I basically launched this coin with my last $20, and I won me 100x it, but I'm still holding. I want to hold it till at least like 10, 20 mil market cap. That move turned out to be the best decision. People lost this effort and wanted to help them succeed, leading to a wave of new investors. The coin's market cap bounced back, climbing from $85,000 to $300,000 for the final. Once it hit that peak, the momentum stalled, and the price began to fall again. Nathan tried everything to keep the project alive. Even put one of his own money into buying tokens to demonstrate his commitment, but nothing worked. His few days after the coin launched, it hit a rock bottom at a multiple of just $8,000. Accepting defeat, Griffin finally sold the Lucky tokens for just $71. Not only did she fail to make money, but she also lost money in his own project. He had invested a total of $224 and walked away with only $31, taking a loss of $152. At this stage, Griffin was at a turning point. He had paid massive time, thousands of dollars into meetings, only to see failure after failure. Thoughts of leading people altogether started to enter his mind. But the idea of walking away empty-headed was something Griffin couldn't accept. He had lost so much. He couldn't just leave it all behind without a fight. That's when he decided to take a closer look at Peter's alive. Maybe because his mistakes had followed the plan to fail. And if he could figure out where he went wrong, there was a chance to improve and make things work next time. Looking back at the chart and his way of actions, Griffin noticed something that completely new. At the coin's all-time high, the tokens he had bought for just $17 were worth $2,200. That realization hit him like a lightning bolt. If he had sold at that peak, he could have made $2,183 in profit, nearly 138 his investment. Griffin began to think, what if I had invested more? If he had paid $100 instead of 17, he could have walked away with $30,000. It was like a wake-up call. Not only could he have made back everything he had lost, but he could have turned a massive profit. At that moment, his entire perspective on Lincoln shifted. He no longer saw himself as the victim of a weak system. Instead, he decided to play the same game and embrace the landscape. If developers could profit by taking advantage of others, why couldn't he do the same? In fact, if he made a new plan, he wasn't going to wait for a $10 million market cap this time. He was going to launch another plan, the cash out as soon as the price came. On November 20th, he launched his second unicorn, Gen Z Prime. This time, he had a new strategy. He bought $353 worth of tokens for himself, making sure he had a good amount before the price went up. He started launching the platform to promote the coin and type with fury. His energy and way of connecting with his audience quickly caught people's attention. Within minutes, the coin started getting traction. Just 5 minutes after the launch, Gen Z Prime migrated to Radiant, and in the next minute, it skyrocketed to almost $2 million market cap.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm so confused.
Watching the balance grow to nearly $30,000, Griffin wasted no time and saw a little to step in. Walking away with a $29,586 profit.
Wow, it's new. Why is it new?
It's something new.
Thanks for the 20 band-aids.
No.
The reaction was a success, and went viral in May. Groups of Griffin celebrating after test out.
Is this any first right over here?
Griffin in the spotlight. Griffin knew overall reality, and he wasn't about to stop. Just 7 years later, he launched another thing. It was a custom name. I'm sorry. As if I apologized for I
I'm sorry, Corey.
his invention started changing. He followed the same plan, buying $253 worth of tokens, doing the other platform, and ready for a time. Within 5 minutes, the coin reached a $500,000 market cap, and Griffin sold all of his tokens in a single transaction, securing a $12,000 profit. By now, Griffin had launched 2 coins in a span of just 15 minutes, and running more, making a total profit of $42,000. Soon, Griffin was done by now, and people would have learned a lesson, right? Just 5 minutes later, he launched yet another coin.
My dog Lucy.
Then he did nothing to go. Lucy. Following his now familiar pattern, Griffin bought $253 worth of tokens. One night, this time with his dog by his side, rewarded on the high grade. The coin skyrocketed to $1 million market cap, and Griffin sold all of his tokens for a $19,576 profit. In the span of just 36 minutes, Griffin had launched 2 coins, robbed the door, and made $61,800.
$61,978. The kid stole my stuff. I saw this thing, where's that kid at? Where's the mom's kid at?
I still without getting in trouble.
20 minutes after Griffin sold away his holdings, the coin reached a market cap of $50 million. And this Griffin had held on and didn't
Look at
It's outside. It's a wood looker outside.
It's not, it's on here. It's on the TV. What the fuck is wrong with
Griffin
you?
decided to try again. He launched his 5th coin. Once again, finally Gen Z Prime. He bought $225 worth of tokens and went live with platform. This time, he forced it
I'll
in
pause
and
it.
wasn't
Put it
around to launch the
outside.
first platform. But Brian, other developers who have partnered with, saying they still held a large portion of the token supply.
Alright, let me tell you why I want these things.
Here.
Old dead.
a $50 million market cap, encouraging people to sell their holdings and buy into his new version, the real one, so he can rob them again and make more money. To leave them trust, briefly buying $5 million of his
You
tokens,
burned
resulting in that
500,000?
move of complete attention. This time, she had to be more patient, planning to wait until the coin reached at least a $2 million market cap before selling. However, things didn't go as planned. The coin hit a $500,000 market cap, far short of his target, and when it dropped to $63,000, briefly sold all of his tokens. Even though it didn't go as he had hoped, he still walked away with a $1,645 profit. In less than 2 hours, Griffith had nearly made a total of $64,000 for his coin. To put that into perspective, less than 1% of people in the early 20s earned that kind of money in an entire year, and Griffith managed to pull that off in under 2 hours. Not only
Keep
had he
saying
made
that.
back all the money he had previously lost, but now he had more than enough to buy the car he had been dreaming about. This wasn't just a win, it was the kind of money
$46,000 car.
but the story didn't end there. The first phone call to Ralph became the center of attention and love. In just 3 hours after Griffin sold off his tokens, the coin's market cap skyrocketed to an all-time high of $33 million. If Griffin hadn't sold his tokens, it would be worth $4.2 million. Of course, the reality was more complicated. The coin probably wouldn't have reached its heights if Griffin had launched in the last week, flipped the camera, and managed the last one with an arrogant and chaotic way to do it. That moment of craziness turned Kwan into a meme, and the crypto community grew around with it, tapping the coin out of gold to make Griffin regret turning to reality. Like most Newtons though, the high didn't last forever. 8 days later, the coin's market cap had plummeted to just $1 million. As the excitement faded, investors moved on. These world-changing events raised a big question. Why do people put their money into risky unicorns like these? And why did you continue buying Griffin tokens even after he repeatedly robbed them? The answer lies in
You don't want another one of these in the
these
cabinet?
coins are like Bitcoin and other things. Their value comes from real-world rules, more complex systems
Yeah,
like
nothing here for
money.
one more
Unicorns run on high, teamwork and attention. In today's world, attention is everything. We live in an attention-driven economy where capturing people's focus completely determines your money. And this drives people to do whatever it takes to stand out to grab attention. Leagues themselves become successful because people find them funny. They go viral on the internet. And they get everyone.
I don't need any because I just had oatmeal.
Take this a step further. Consider that human attention is a market. Something people can
I don't
actually
really
invest their
have
money
stomach
into.
full of
People
oatmeal.
believe the money has the potential to become big enough to attract more buyers, allowing them to sell at a higher price and make a profit. Recent situation is a perfect example of that. It got people's attention by being at the time of funny. It's led to many people buying business to spend, giving this the opportunity to rob them and walk away with a significant profit. Then, the crypto community decided that the next funny thing they can do is to buy as much of the second supply as possible to pump the coin's value as a result.
I figured about your peanut butter anyway.
Since his tokens would have
Oh, not enough peanut butter for you.
that's why most
No, no jelly?
consumer hype
No, because I was going to save that for when you need to pull sandwich for yourself. You want to go?
It's gonna be pretty liquidy or pretty dry now.
Peanut butter. No real value is being created. If you made $64,000, already flexing around what to do. No product, no service, no skills. Just a transfer of money from other people's wallets to you. If you were to earn $64,000 in the real world, it will likely take months or even years. Whether through a job or building a business. But in one time, you will contribute something of value. A product people need or a service that helps others. With unicorns, it's all about bringing in money and hoping to cash out before everyone else does. Unicorns are less like investing and more like lending. People aren't exchanging value. They're just passing money around, hoping to come out ahead. It's a fascinating system, but it's also fragile. As entertaining and exciting as the space might seem, it's built entirely on hype. As the hype fades, so does the money. Where this trend will lead is uncertain, but it's clear that unicorns are shaping how people view rewards in the power of attention in today's economy.
What's on the head?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on important shit, people focus on stupid fake money.
Right. $4,000 Bitcoin, 238 million.
the 19th of August, 2024, the day a group of young adults carried out one of the largest people heists ever recorded. 20-year-old Malone Man, 18-year-old George Cobb, 21-year-old Daniel Serrano, Danish Han and Chen. These kids started with a single Genesis creditor who had no idea they were about to lose a staggering $230 million worth of Bitcoin. But how did they pull it off? Were they expert hackers and advanced coding skills? Well, it was not simply as it seems. These cameras did something very clever. They hacked into basic human nature. It all began with a phone call, a seemingly harmless contact from legal support. But this call wasn't legal at all. Using a spoof number, Richard Call, also known as Reed, convinced the victim that their personal accounts had been compromised. With this false sense of urgency, he gained access to the victim's Gmail and iCloud, where he gathered key security information. Another call followed, this time from Daniel Serrano, aka Box, claiming to be a representative from Gemini, the crypto exchange the victim used. The victim was tricked into believing their account was under attack. Under pressure and convinced the minute flat fast, the victim reset their two-factor authentication settings, giving the few gadgets they needed to take control of the Gemini account, quickly sending funds to a compromised wallet. The situation was spiraling, but the victim had no idea. When he was asked to use NDS, a remote access software, it seemed like another step in securing your assets. But in reality, it was the final blow. As the victim unknowingly shared the screen, the private keys to the Bitcoin wallet were exposed. In just a few clicks, the digital fortune was transferred into the hands of the thief. In a private video, the recording relied reactions to the successful transfer of 4,064 bitcoins valued at over $230 million at the time. Clearly excited as they watched the millions flow into their wallets. How did the man actually pull off such a heist? How could someone with that much wealth be deceived so easily? And why will they record themselves in the act of committing such a massive crime? These are questions that might never be fully answered, but one thing is clear, the money was now in the hands of the criminals, and they knew their wealth wasn't done. Exactly 17 minutes after, the quickly set about laundering the money. To make it harder for authorities to track the stolen crypto, they split the Bitcoin into smaller amounts and shortly across 15 different exchanges, a common tactic known as K-chains. The idea was to break the large transactions into smaller ones, making them harder to trace. Bitcoin was swapped for Litecoin, Litecoin was swapped for Ethereum, and Ethereum was swapped for Monero. The process took several days, with constant swapping between different currencies and exchanges, further obscuring the trade.
Settings? No, not that. Like with the swap settings. Set customer secret. No, bro, what the hell? Good night, I think. Alright, bro.
Soon enough, all the stolen money was now clean and ready to be spent, and the criminals didn't hold back. But way before the fight even took place, they were already planning to how to spend
Cold to go out there and do
sharing
dishes.
rich with each other.
Huh?
It's too cold outside to do the laundry and
They
dishes.
wanted to purchase, from brands like Louis Vuitton to Vinci and Philip Plain. While most of the crew chose to play safe, keeping a low profile and reducing their temptation to spread, one man couldn't help but stand out. His name, Malone Man.
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna pop out my ass for dinner tonight.
Huh?
Malone
figure out what I'm
was
popping out my ass
and
for
the
dinner
moment he got
tonight.
his hands on the money, he wasted no time diving head first into a luxurious lifestyle. Everything he had once watched local people enjoy was now within his reach, ready to become his new reality. Nightclub became his second home. Almost every night, he hit the crowd, spending ridiculous amounts of money on VIP sections and body services. His bar tabs were unbelievable. Some nights costing $265,000, $300,000, and even more than $500,000 in a single night. If you were in one of those clubs, you couldn't miss him. His name will be flashing on signs, and he just without his name, giving him all the attention. She quickly became everyone's favorite, because whenever he was around, everyone got to drink for free. She flew around her like it was nothing, and one time, she even paid a DJ a massive 6-liter bottle of golden S of spade champagne, which could cost anywhere from $25,000 to $60,000. Another time, he tipped the DJ $2,000 and popped out $100 in his car, sent straight to his house.
You could tip for $2,000. And I tell you, your mama's bottles and something that I took home brand new, everything sealed, brand new.
But as fun as Larry was, he still didn't feel like enough. He craved more attention, more luxury, more extravagance. So what did he do? He chartered a private jet to Miami. There, he took his spending to a whole new level. In Miami, Malone settled in a waterfront mansion. This place wasn't just any house. It was a $10.5 million estate with a $62,000 a month rental price tag. This mansion was massive, covering over 3,500 square feet, with 25-foot ceilings, 10 bedrooms, and a huge pool with a jacuzzi. It had two big front gates and a garage and a spacious driveway that was later filled with expensive supercars and luxury vehicles. Malone bought a black Mandarin with his handy, a white Lamborghini Urus, a fully kitted out white Mandarin Lamborghini Urus with baby blue interior, a matte black Lamborghini Red Rover, a new Porsche 911 GT3 RS, a new Ferrari SUV in black, two Mercedes-Benz G-Class, one in gray, one matte black Camel, and a really new matte black and pretty Rolls Royce Dawn, a blue green Lamborghini Ford, another Lamborghini Red Rover, matte gray, a blue Lamborghini Urus, another white water-bodied Lamborghini Aventador interior, Malone's name written on the bottom of the door, a matte black Ferrari 4 Superfast, another Lamborghini Aventador interior in blue, a pink Urus, which Malone originally bought as a gift with his ex-girlfriend to try to get her back. But not exactly the game. A fully black Carbon McLaren 765 LT, a blue Ferrari Harbor, many more cars. If you didn't realize it by now, Malone was always rolling with fashion. He rocked high-end designer pieces like Louis Vuitton and Da Vinci. His style was expensive, with the most expensive piece of clothing being the Moncler Magia Cemetery by Paul Mendes jacket, which alone cost $50,000 or more. But after all this wasted money on clothes and cars, Malone finally decided to invest his money in timeless pieces that would hold the value over time, like this Cuban link chain bracelet filled with diamonds, a Richard Mille covered in diamonds, and a diamond ring for each one of his fingers. One Richard Mille wasn't enough, of course, so he bought multiple, even his glasses were diamonds.
No, I don't think they'll do it.
Malone wasn't just a millionaire just with himself. He had a generous side, often using his wealth to give back to others in need. He bought 5 Dyson bags and gave them away to other members of the club. One of his lucky ladies was a model named Olivia Allen.
Say that I just was actually breaking my nugget because the man gave it to me in the club last night. This is your sign of both loving.
Another lucky lady who got a birthday was famous TikTok star Sky Reed.
Me and my two girlfriends walk over to the section, and this kid, I'm going to refer to him as like a kid, I mean, he's definitely over the age of 18. He looks pretty young. He comes towards me, and he's like, I got this for you.
She ended up saying she didn't like it.
It's beautiful, let's be honest. It's not really my style.
While Malone was busy making his name known, flaunting his wealth at every turn, he was also drawn into the wrong kind of attention. His outrageous spending, paired with his desire to be nothing, made it easier for authorities and blockchain experts to track him down. Investigators, including prominent figures like Zach XPT, were closely watching the flow of the stolen funds, tracing each move as he splurged on cars, clothes, and luxury items. The more he spent, the more obvious it became that his newfound fortune was linked to the heist, and soon enough, the walls started closing in. Malone thought he was untouchable, but behind the scenes, law enforcement and experts like Zach XPT were already connecting the dots. Through his flashy spending, investigators tracked large transactions linked to the stolen Bitcoin, using blockchain analysis to map out the movement of funds. What's more, both Box and Reed split up during the process of laundering the funds. On several occasions, they linked the stolen funds with their personal assets, which, for example, also linked his full name during a screening call, while Box Reed used deposit addresses, making it easier to trace the funds back to them.
It's a lot of
These
water on
mistakes,
one spot.
combined with his morning conversations in which he
Must have been a heavy rain.
made it clear
Get that one
the
fixed.
Look how closer it's
by
getting closer to your
mid-September
computer.
2024, the FBI and other authorities
It's inches over there.
On the 19th of September, federal agents raided Malone's Miami mansion, where he was arrested, surrounded by all the luxuries and aboard with a stolen fortune.
We got proof. And, you know, we thought that we wanted to shoot in the neighborhood. And we saw a lot of police. This was something that never happened in this neighborhood. Most of the time was we had a party. It was a party because I can hear the music.
It was a stark contrast. Malone, who had looked like a king for just a short while, was now being led away in handcuffs. Authorities were able to fish over $9 billion in stolen funds,
Yeah.
with $500,000 already returned to the victim. However, a significant portion of the stolen money remains in cryptocurrency wallets. At the time of making this video, $21 million linked to Box is still sitting in one wallet, while Rachel Tao, also known as Reese, has around $39 million tied up in his account. Additionally, $4 million of Malone's funds remain untouched in another wallet. Now, what happened to everything else he bought? The cars, the clubs, the private jets, and all the flashy stuff. See, when a criminal buys luxury items, like cars, with stolen money and later gets arrested, the government steps in and seizes their assets through a process called asset forfeiture. This allows law enforcement to take control of anything purchased from illegally obtained funds, such as cars, houses, or expensive jewelry. Once these assets are seized, they are usually put up for auction. In many cases, dealerships or buyers, including the same dealer who originally sold the cars, can purchase them again, often at a lower price than they were initially sold for. The money made from these auctions then is used in a couple of ways. A portion of it will go toward compensating the victims of the crime, helping to recover some of the stolen funds, while another portion will be used to cover the cost of the investigation and legal proceedings. If the victim is likely to be a 50 to 65% back after the auction and administratively, the cut will necessarily get. However, in Malone's case, here is the price he purchased, the number of Lamborghini Urus, the Lamborghini Red Rover, and a Porsche 911 GTCRA, were later transported to LA following his arrest. These cars were spotted by EFF Spot, a popular YouTuber who is known for his rare and expensive car spotting videos. In this particular video, both the Red Rover and the Porsche appeared with noticeable damage. The Red Rover had significant front-end damage, while the Porsche was damaged in the rear, suggesting that the Red Rover had likely rear-ended the Porsche. This kind of damage will undoubtedly reduce the value of the car when it goes to auction, significantly reducing the amount the victim could recover. The same process will apply to the clothes, jewelry, watches, and designer glasses that Malone purchased. These luxury items are likely to be seized by authorities and not your law as part of the asset recovery process. High-end watches, such as the rich and timepieces, are particularly valuable and could bring in significant amounts at auction. While designer clothes typically depreciate in value, Malone's expensive pieces will still hold enough worth to help recover the funds for the victim. As for the wild spending in clubs, that money is pretty much gone. When you blow $500,000 in a single night on better services and VIP sections, the clubs aren't held responsible for giving it back, especially if they had no clue the money was stolen. Same goes for the private jets. Those jet companies provided a legitimate service, so the money Malone spent on his flights is long gone. In conclusion, while most of the big ticket items can be seized in auction, much of what Malone spent on services, like clubs and private jets, is lost for good. This story isn't just about a major heist, or the luxurious lifestyle Malone enjoyed for a brief moment. It's a lesson in doing, the dangers of showing off wealth that wasn't meant, and how quickly everything can come crashing down. Despite all the money spent, the nights out, and the flashy purchases, Malone's dream life was built on stolen funds, and it was only a matter of time before it fell apart. Authorities might recover some of the stolen money, but the damage done to the victim and the recklessness of Malone's spending spree are a reminder of how easy it is to slip away. For Malone's friends, what started as a wild ride of lawlessness ended in arrests and the names tied to one of the biggest crypto crimes in history. In the end, this high service, that no matter how bad
I
the
saw two
crime
flies
or how
coming.
big the payout, the law always catches up. And
I
the
did.
price you pay
They
is
were right here
far
flying around
greater
by my
than
leg.
the short-lived things we can enjoy.
There he is, Post Malone.
You did?
Oh, by the way, remember Olivia, the model who got a break in there? Yeah, she made a TikTok after Malone's arrest, calling the break in her police uniform. And also another TikTok in the same club saying, not free back tonight, just free things.
Post Malone. So $233 million.
Today's guest became a unicorn millionaire at 17 years old.
I've had like 200,000 of a unicorn in like 10 minutes, more than a million.
Born in South Africa, he started out selling candy to classmates using the profits.
That's what it says.
Today's guest became a unicorn millionaire at 17 years old.
I've had like 200,000 of a unicorn in like 10 minutes, more than a million.
Born in South Africa, he started out selling candy to classmates using the profits to launch a dropshipping business. At 13, he stumbled into cryptocurrency, where one of his first investments skyrocketed 10,000%.
I try to lose small and win very big. 9 losses, big, lose, and then you hit one winner, which pays off not only for the previous 9 losses, but for the next 90 losses. cryptocurrencies. Now he's made millions in the meme economy and even advises hedge fund managers on the strategies that built this fortune.
That's what I mean when it comes so popular now, because everyone knows this thing is the casino. It's more like, say, playing poker. Like, your luck isn't part of it, but the best poker players consistently win.
In this episode, we'll break down his exact blueprint for multiplying wealth, expose the deceptive tactics keeping you broke, and uncover the hidden loopholes used by the elite to secure generational wealth.
Even this morning, I bought like 50K worth of.
Now it's me. Welcome to the Jack Neal Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Maurits and I got
reaction.
dinner last
Turn
night.
off
We
the
had a
screen.
good conversation. He's kind of
Samson.
teaching me all this crypto stuff. I'm not too familiar with the space, and I've kind of avoided having podcast guests and talking about this topic, but it's not very often where you meet a kid as young as Maurits here that's made millions through meme coins. So I thought it was an interesting story, and yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So you've traded dozens of cryptocurrencies, maybe hundreds, all I know, and some of these are utility tokens, like they're tied to real companies, and some of them are just for the meme. What's the most amount of money you've made from a meme coin?
The meme coin, probably upwards of $500,000. Trump played out really well for me. I caught it late, but I just sized in pretty heavily. But my best plays are being utility plays, because in the nature of meme coins, it's much shorter durations and much higher risk. So I don't bet as heavily as I would on like solid utility projects. The play that really changed my life, and for me what was like my best ever play, was Polygon-matic last cycle. That really was the play that took me from like having a couple $1,000s to, you know, like a couple $100,000. So that was my best ever play, and it really kind of opened my horizon. It got me better network and made me a lot of money. And it kind of showed me like, holy shit, like you can make crazy like fucking money from this.
In Polygon, so what was the price when you got in, and what was it like when you got out?
So I first got in around 50 million market cap, which was during COVID time. And I was around 14 at the time. I'd saved up a couple $1,000 from a couple different businesses. I did a tiny bit of e-com, like these all like tiny numbers, a couple $100, $1,000 a month. There's a couple other hustles. So I walked dogs, I sold sweets, but I saved up a decent amount of money, and I'm just kind of getting into trading. And first, of course, I'm looking at Bitcoin. I'm like, okay, what is this? Then I saw like, okay, I believed in this.
Is the airport back to normal, you think,
at the time, $6,000-7,000, and I thought, okay, maybe this can go 5x. But then, you know, like my $1,000 goes into $5,000. Like, it's good money, but it's not what I'm looking for over the course of the next year. So I took a look at ETH, and I thought, wow, like this is really cool. Like I like smart contracts. I really like this idea of ETH. At the same time, ETH was already a couple $100, so I thought, how crazy could this really get? But then Vitalik Buterin, who's the founder of Ethereum and the CEO of Ethereum, he was talking about the importance of layer 2 scaling solutions. And then I was like, okay, what is this? I have no idea what it even meant at the time. But basically, these are kind of chains built on top of Ethereum. And I thought, okay, this, like when Ethereum is going to go, which I really believe it would, like layer 2 scaling solutions are basically a leverage play on that. As Ethereum runs, it's going to be, you know, some winner of these layer 2 solutions that are going to get like bulk of the market share, because Ethereum is slow, it's very expensive, it's tough to use. So as adoption comes, a lot of people are going to move over to these layer 2s. And then I found Polygon-matic really early. I went autistically through everything, the team, you know, where they went to university, took a look at all these things, and I thought like, this is my play. And I put like 80% of the money I had at the time into that, which was only a couple $1,000. There was around 50 million market cap. I sold some too early, sold some too late. But that point is the third biggest gain of the cycle. Only like SafeMoon and BNB did better. It was the best, Ethereum-based coin, the best performance, and it went basically nothing. So it's a multi-billion market cap, and that netted me like a good 6 figures at the time.
So what's the price when you got in?
Yeah, token, how much the price, both market cap was at around 50 million market cap, like my first initials, and it went to multi-billion. But it's not like, you know, you buy in at one price and you sell out at one. Like, you know, you're buying in incrementally and you're selling out incrementally as well.
Right.
But I believe it went to over around 12-13 billion market cap at the peak. But I sold some too early, some too late. Like, you never get the top perfect. If I played it like perfectly, it would have been like mid-7 figures, if not more. Like, I timed it well, but timed it decently well, but you never get it perfect.
So what was kind of the strategy there? So how much did you invest in exactly? Was it like $5,000, $6,000?
Yeah, I think it was $3,500-4,000 over the course of a couple months. You're trading in and out, and you're taking a position back. But I believe in the underlying ecosystem of Ethereum,
And a lot of people in crypto, they like to diversify pretty heavily. They'll buy like 100 different coins. But my strategy then and now has never been that, because there's like a 0.9 correlation effect with Bitcoin, which basically simply means when Bitcoin moves up, the entire market moves up. When Bitcoin goes down, the entire market goes down. And kind of the lower down you go, the more leverage, the more multiplication there is on that. If Bitcoin swings down 10%, you have, other coins that get wrecked like 30, 40%. But when Bitcoin pumps, the inverse happens as well with the coins. So I believed in crypto very heavily. I was very pro decentralization. I didn't agree with what the government was doing at the time. I liked that it was non KYC. That as a kid in South Africa, I could go and buy this. And there's no stopping me. As long as I have a credit card or some bank account, like can get access to this. And then I really just believed in Ethereum at the time. Less so now. This cycle, which we can get into. But yeah, it was basically just a leverage play on Ethereum. And if you're buying something, like a lot of people buy Bitcoin, think, oh, I'm $100 on become a millionaire. But like, you need to look at the market cap of how far can Bitcoin really go. Like maybe it goes 10 trillion, 20 trillion, and flips gold. But even then, it's only a couple X's from now. Your $100, might turn in $1,000. It's a 10X, which would be, like insane to hit. But with these low multiple coins, you can hit better X's, but you also have a lot more risk.
Yeah, so my thing with you is you were quite young. So
Dog
what
hair.
was the time? How old were you when you traded Matic? 13, 14?
Marley shirts,
Yeah,
not
14,
this
which is 2020.
So me, I found Bitcoin maybe in 2016, 2017, like that initial bull run. And I was like trying to convince my parents, like, hey, like, please buy this. Like, I'm not old enough to buy this. I don't know how to do it, but I know that this thing will be big and it will work. But like, I was under 18, so I couldn't buy anything. I bought my first chunk of Bitcoin the day I turned 18 years old, which still did well for me, but I wasn't able to buy it when I was younger. So how did you go about that process?
Non-KYC exchanges. So the first exchange I used was KuCoin. Non-KYC simply means that you don't have to put in your details for it. So you don't have to put in the proof of address or passport.
It's not that bad outside, it's just
KuCoin
looks
is
nasty
non-KYC. So with that, you can just buy with your kiddies card. Like kiddies card, it had like a $150 a day limit. But I could simply just buy USDT from the card at 2.5% fees, which was quite high. But in crypto, like you can make 2.5% pretty quickly back. So
It's
just
just
buy
a
every
water
day
pile right here
my
to
kiddies
soak up the
card
water.
from some money I'd saved up from some different ventures. And then
Hey,
from
will you check for
USDT and
something?
exchange, you just go ahead and buy whatever. And then
Will you check for
oftentimes you have to move it for the smaller coins at the time. Following in specifically many cases, you have to send it to a decentralized, smaller, decentralized exchange, which makes it slightly more complicated. But
Okay,
simply
shot
just
ready,
means that
63.
you send it from this exchange, which holds the money for you, to basically a third-party wallet which only you have access to, and then you swap it on chain at the time is with Uniswap.
I'm kind of framing the podcast today, guys, around
But you're at
people
15.
who,
Oh, went up.
not for people who've like never bought a cryptocurrency or like nothing.
I gotta catch up.
I
gotta catch up, I gotta catch up.
Crypto or Bitcoin, but I do want to explain like what is the difference between like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and like just kind of give that to everyone.
Yeah, so layer 1 is like Ethereum. This is the base chain. And layer 2 simply means it's built on top of it. So you have ERC20, which is like Ethereum's base chain. A lot of crypto, it's made more complicated than it actually is. Like there's a lot of jargon and people make it sound super confusing, mainly so that they can sell you some courses or that they take care of the money for you. But realistically, like, you spend like a couple of hours, like, it's not as complicated as it seems. It's the same with traditional finance. They use all these buzzwords to make it sound complicated. But if you literally just break it down and think about it logically, like it's understandable for almost everyone. But layer 1 is the base where everything is built on top of. And then you have layer 2 and layer 3 scaling solutions, which are basically bridges of the main chain that are built on top of it. So say Polygon is in layer 2 on Ethereum. And basically, you can use the ETH network, but there's millions and millions of people using the Ethereum network. That's why it's so expensive. That's why it's super slow. These layer 2s are basically like these little side roads. If you have the main highway of Ethereum and maybe some traffic on there, then you have these layer 2s, which are kind of these, I guess, these side roads where you can go a bit quicker on those and they're built slightly differently. Some of them have new features, maybe some bumps in that road or whatever it is. That all these layer 2 scaling solutions are slightly different. I think a lot of things people don't understand in crypto is that every project, whether it's a meme coin, whether it's a utility coin, does something different. A lot of people have no idea what they're investing into. Like Solana is very different to Bitcoin. Litecoin is very different to Solana. All these coins serve a purpose. A lot of it is all way there. A lot of it is just big promises. but every coin is basically like a
Return on
company.
fee
It does
is
something
available
different. Even in
payment
meme coins, there's
deadline
different
8/5/8/25.
narratives, communities, plans that they have. That every single thing is something different. It's like investing into a company. Most people just see something and buy it, and they have no idea what the promise behind it is, what the tech behind it
Well, if
is,
we
what
sell,
the community behind it is.
yeah,
So you
tomorrow,
need to really
we
understand
will
that
sell.
every crypto
We
does
make a
something else.
list a little
And
more than
most people do
1,000.
less than 5 minutes of research when
Like
they
put
invest in
like
something.
maybe what
I
400
don't
pesos,
like to
500
go that
pesos
way.
in the total.
And meme coins, it can sometimes
Yeah.
be like that. But if I'm investing like a large chunk of money, I don't like to
16.
gamble. Most people treat crypto and meme coins like it's stake.com. They just go and they're just gambling. But like I'm putting a lot of money into something. Like I want to truly understand what it is, what the potential is, who's the team, what are their plans, and treat it less like a casino and more maybe I guess like sports betting for some people in the sense that you can take educated guesses. There's always risk with it, but I try to play it more like investing and gambling.
Just to clarify here, what is layer 3? Is that a token or a solution built on top of layer 2, or is that
Yeah, so it's like it's
So it'd
the
be
same thing
something-
except for the side road of the side road basically.
So it's Ethereum, layer 1, then you would have Polygon, an example, be layer 2, and then something built on Polygon would be layer 3.
Exactly.
So what would a meme coin be? Would that just be a layer 2 solution? or
A
is
meme
that-
coin is different than like say a layer 2 solution because it doesn't offer any new features. Say like the typical meme coin, like a pump up fund. I wouldn't call it like a Solana layer 2. It's simply just a coin built on top of Solana. A layer 2 traditionally is more to help with the scaling or help with the load of people. Well, I wouldn't call a meme coin a layer 2, but every meme coin is also bound to a chain. Like, say like Brett on Base, and you have a Doggo Fat on Solana, or Sheep is on ETH. Like these big coins are built on top of the main ecosystems, but I would call them layer 2s.
And then Base is Coinbase's?
So I'm currently hacking the
It's similar
internet.
to ETH in a lot of ways, but it is its own unique chain. But they don't have a native token. So like Solana and Ethereum, they have the ecosystem is fueled by the token. You pay the fees in the token. If you're buying, you're swapping Ethereum to Shiba or whatever it is. But Base doesn't have a native token.
Lots of fake
Base. So they already have money and backing that they don't really need the native token. So there's less speculation, and it makes it kind of evergreen. Because if Solana is getting wrecked, the entire chain is getting wrecked. But Base doesn't have its own native token, so you have the ecosystem is rather just fueled by Coinbase.
And then Bitcoin, nothing would be built on top of Bitcoin.
It can be, but it's extremely slow and extremely difficult because the tech is very old. Like Solana is kind of last cycle's tech and it innovated a lot in the bear market. The Bitcoin is 2009 tech, and the alt protocol is built on Bitcoin. There's never been kind of a meme season on Bitcoin simply because it's extremely complicated and it's decently expensive. You have projects like Core that are built on Bitcoin. You have a few protocols built on, but it's just not a chain that's built for other people to build on. Solana is meant to be like the main highway, and they make it very easily to build and super cheap to build on there. That's why the meme coin is mainly on Solana at the moment.
What's the most amount of money you've made in the shortest amount of time?
I've had like 200,000 of a meme coin in like 10 minutes. I posted that on Twitter. It's like you get these massive fluctuations. And at the time I was sniping something. So basically means that you have these coins, and the basic pump fund model is that it goes up to now it's like 85, 90k market cap, and then it hits something called bonding. So the project gets made, and then people buy in or pump fund, and then it goes through this process called bonding, which is basically where it migrates from being on pump fund to going on chain. It sounds more complicated than it is. It's basically this little period of like 2 minutes, sometimes can take a bit longer, where trading isn't allowed, and it's as the token is being moved from liquidity on pump fund on chain. And so it sounds like a lot of jargon, but basically just means this 2 minute period where no one can buy, and then all of a sudden the floodgates open. And you have these big projects, they get very quickly bundled by the team on pump fund, and then as these floodgates are closed, a bunch of people are waiting to go buy this project now. And they can oftentimes they tweet the CA on Twitter during the 2 minutes. So as soon as these floodgates open, you have a bunch of people that line up to buy, and then you have this process called sniping, which is basically where you have bots that like spam transactions. So you can be the first one when the floodgates open, and you pay a high fee. And at the time, it's good points. I paid like almost $5,000 fee to be one of the first people in. So I got into the point at like 110 market cap. I was like one of the first 3 transactions I went through. And then like in seconds it was at like multi-million market cap, and yeah, it was good 6 figures. I think I round tripped a lot of it, but that was like instantly like as soon as a snipe, it like time I made my first research was maybe like 100K up and kept it running for a while.
So how much did you put in?
I think I had a $5,000 bribe for like only like $1,000 buy. So you have these very, sometimes people pay like super hyped up launches, people pay upwards of 10, 20, 30K, sometimes even 100K, because the more you pay, it's called a bribe or a transaction fee. Basically where you pay the network a priority fee, and the more you pay, you get put ahead of everyone that with lower base, because all these networks, that's how they make money, is from transaction fees.
And that's how they prioritize it, or is it
Yeah.
who is first?
No, it's whoever pays the most. Also has to do with speed, but mainly it's the bribe. So when you have, as the floodgates open, there's basically a guy that stands with a ticket and he looks, so okay, oh, $5,000, $10,000, okay, sold. And then the $10,000 bribe will come through, and oftentimes your bribe is bigger than your actual buy, because when you get these low market caps, even putting $1,000 in at like 100K, you're buying 1% of the token, which is like quite a lot. Any wallet holds more than like 3-4%, becomes difficult to sell. People try to avoid the token because having these things are very low liquidity. So if you're having like 3-4% and you decide to sell all of it, like you can wreck the chart like more than 50%. So if you have these, sometimes people buy like 17% off one thing, it kind of ruins the project entirely, and you can never sell. And it's all, if you never sell one clip, and as soon as you start offloading, people can see, okay, this whale is now starting to dump, so they all like kind of dump as well. So you only actually get a fraction of what you get. Some people snipe with high priority fees on multiple wallets. So you pay like $5,000 bribes on 5 different wallets and buy like 1,000 on each. So there's a lot of that, because you don't want too much control supplied by a single wallet for multiple reasons. It makes it very difficult to offload.
Guys, if you are into crypto already, we will get into some specific strategies and kind of how Neo thinks about investing in this space. But I do just want to clarify some things for the people listening to the long form version of the podcast. So just key terms here. We have CA, contract address, essentially the series of numbers and letters that you paste into your crypto exchange, or where would you put it into?
So I trade mainly on Telegram bots,
Okay.
which is kind of, you have basically 3 levels of, I think, how deep you're into crypto and what you should do. So level 1 is that you're just using Coinbase, using Binance, these are the big exchanges. And the thing is, you'll never get like the type of returns that I'm talking about on those exchanges, simply because by the time a project gets listed on Coinbase, it already has to be at least a couple $100 million in market cap. It already has like a vetted team. There's enough supply control. This is whole criteria these projects go through to get it listed. And then when it gets listed, you're kind of the lowest on the pecking order. Everyone that got in pre-listing already has their bags packed. Oftentimes they sell as it comes onto the exchanges, and kind of the retail, normally people are the ones buying their bags. The second layer, I guess, is going on-chain, which is basically when you're using Uniswap or Jupiter, or these kind of on-chain trading tools, and that you can get into things before they're listed. All you need is the contact address. So it's on Sol, you're using Jupiter. You should just paste in the contact address, and you can just swap your Solana to buy whatever the meme is, and then you can get into that from very, very early. You don't need to wait for an exchange to list it. And then kind of the third layer, which is kind of where everyone's been moving this cycle, is with Telegram trading bots. So you basically, it sounds more complicated than it is, but simply on Telegram, the app, you have these different bots. I use Nova. There's a bunch of popular ones. Trojan, Nova's a big one. Bong, you have all these different bots, and simply there, you just paste in the address, and like you're typing a message, and we'll show this at the end of the podcast, but you basically just type in a contact address, you click send, and it'll pop up with like how much you want to buy, 1 Sol, 2 Sol, 5 Sol, 10 Sol, and you basically just click 2 Sol, and then within like a second you have your transaction submitted. And the reason that people do that is because it's much quicker than Jupiter, and you have, you can take much higher slippage. There's a bunch of things you can customize all your things, and you basically just paste the contact address on Telegram, like just on your phone and your laptop. You click enter, and like within a second you'll get a transaction submitted, and you'll pay slightly higher fees. Like the bribe you're paying is because you want to be super quick. And the reason you want to do Telegram trading bots instead of Jupiter or something else is simply because it's much quicker, and especially with meme coins and with these very low market cap coins, like it's all about speed. It's a game of how quickly can you get in, how quickly can you get out. Because news drops very quickly. Someone just tweets something, the Twitter account gets banned from the coin, like that drops to 80% in a couple of seconds. So you want to be able to jump ship very quickly, be able to get in very quickly, and simply the retail people always is like the higher up the chain you go, if you go with Telegram trading bots, just have much better odds than if you're just buying off exchanges. Also depends very much on your trading side. If you just want to buy Bitcoin and ETH, only do that on exchanges or on cold wallets. But if you really want to do like meme coins, you should have Telegram trading bots, or at least like be using Jupiter and stuff.
Now, what's the easiest way to lose money in crypto? Like, who are the people that are losing consistently? Like, you've kind of mentioned it already, but I just kind of want to hear, like, to the audience, like, these are the people that are commonly losing.
Yeah, so there's actually like last week there was a study that came out from on Pump Fund. 85% of people lose money, 10% are around break even, 5% make like a little bit, and there's like sub 1% that make all the money. And these are oftentimes just the best traders, people that have the best tools, that have the best information. The people that lose are always the retail people.
And define retail?
When housewives and taxi drivers, start getting into crypto, like a lot of meme coin is retail in the sense that it's guys that work, a job and afterwards they're going home in meme coin. There are people that are like full time in crypto, say like me, but you have a bunch of people that make good money that are retail in meme coins. But you kind of have tiers to it as well. Like, if you're just buying meme coins on exchanges, like you're probably the highest level of retail. For retail, I just mean you're not familiar with the ecosystem or you're playing with little sums of money. You're not super familiar. You're a very emotional trader with FOMO. I think a lot of people enter, the reason I've lost the biggest times is just when you're trading emotionally and when you have FOMO. So you see some people talking about some coin, it's absolutely skyrocketing. And when you enter a trade emotionally, that you're like, oh, this is going up, I don't want to miss it. You're kind of emotional throughout the process because you have no logical reason to get in. You have no logical reason to stay in. So if you're emotional as you take your position, all of a sudden things go down, like, oh, what's happening? When things go up, you're super excited. But if you have, like, you had some, like, okay, this is going to play out this one, buying this coin. You have a logical reason. Okay, I'm buying this because I expect this to happen, and then, this is how it's going to play out. And if it doesn't happen, it's very easy to sell your position because it didn't play out, and it's not looking like it's going to play out. You can sell your position, and once it plays out, you're like, okay, this is the price it's going to, step out. But when you have no logical reason to step into the point, and you just throw your money in, all of a sudden it doesn't matter which way it goes, like you oftentimes lose. And people can go up like 10,000%. I've seen people like on a point at $1,000 it's like 500K, and they'll round trip it back down, and they somehow will lose money on a point like that. I think at some
What do you mean
point
by round trip?
round trip basically means that you buy, you go up massively, and then it goes down, and you didn't take any profits, and
That's
they'll
me.
ride it back down to zero basically, hoping for another bounce. And, I've been there
That's me.
plenty of times.
That's me.
In the beginning, I used to, that happened to me a lot, but now I've kind of got fixed rules in terms of selling out on the way up.
Yeah.
So I'll sell like 50% always at 2x. It doesn't really matter what the coin is. I'll take my initials out as soon as the coin doubles. It limits my upside, but at the same time, makes it much harder to lose money. Like, I'll never be able to lose money on that trade anymore. Like, I've taken, let's say I put 100 in, when it's worth 200, I take 100 out. So my initial 100 is
Never
completely
lose.
accepted.
Take
and
out
now
money
I'm
that
in
gain.
in that
You
position
keep the
for
money
free.
in.
Never
Essentially,
lose.
you ride the
Yeah.
rest
Put
much
it
more
in
aggressively
balance.
because I
Put
no
the money
longer
that you
want to lose money anymore.
initially put in,
So
you
I
gain
can,
that money,
sit
take that
back
money
and
that
quite
you
aggressive
gain,
with that
and put
and
the
let that,
additional buy
ride up
back
pretty
in.
heavily.
Right.
That's
I
what I've
like
been
to
telling you to
profit
do, but
incrementally.
listen.
Like, I never recommend, buying all in at once or selling all in at once. Like, I buy in over the course of either a couple of minutes, just meme coins, or the bigger position over the course of weeks. And the same with selling out. So like 25%, 25%, 25%, instead of just flipping all out at once, because you're better off, like, you're never going to time the top perfectly. You're better off kind of scaling out on the way up, and if it is a dip, like, at least you took some on the way up before it started coming down.
Yeah, so it seems like you have a system
greedy,
for
he
that's
takes
kind
what
of
he gets and then
mathematical
turns
for
it out.
buying and selling the coins.
System.
Like, what types of narratives would trigger you to sell your meme coins, or what's your system for selling meme coins? Like, you sell those 25%, but is it based on, like, it's not chart analysis? I know you're not that type of person. It's more like you're looking at someone's Twitter. You, like, kind of know the emotions behind certain tweets going out. You know the emotions behind certain news going out. That's kind of the process.
Yeah, I think some people are so stupid that on 50-minute meme coins that they're doing technical analysis. Like, technical analysis barely works in traditional markets, like, let alone meme coins. There's way too much volatility, and when you see people like doing some stupid drawings on like 15-minute old pump on charts, like, there's zero like technical analysis you can do that because it's so emotional based. It's not logical based with meme coins, so it becomes very difficult to predict. With stock markets and stuff like that, you have certain patterns that play out because it's very algorithmic, all the trading. But on meme coins, like, it's people's emotions. Coins can go higher than you would ever expect and can fall quicker than you could ever expect. So I stay away from technical analysis almost entirely, unless it's like a project that's been out for a while, like maybe like a complete blue chip, then somewhat. You need to understand that you have different narratives that play out in crypto. So you have these short trends, and by narrative I just mean something that's current right now. You have, say, a political meta during the election. You have Joe Biden coin go to a couple hundred million. You have all these political coins that go around because it's all about mind share. Meme coins are just monetized attention. So when you have these big events that play out like elections or like the Luigi mania, like when that killer went out, like that was one of my best plays. I had a coin named Luigi, and that ran like multiple hundred X's. Just current events always play out in crypto. So if you're very early to news, it plays out super well. Like right now, as we're talking, CZ, who's the owner of Binance, he's like, should I tweet the name of my dog? And as soon as that happens, there's going to be a meme coin about CZ's dog that's going to run like multiple hundred X's. And people overcomplicate it massively.
How are you not checking your phone right now?
Because he said I'll tweet it tomorrow. Also, and I sent, in case he does it earlier, I actually sent my friend 10K to throw in for me if oftentimes.
Yeah, I was worried about this podcast because Kanye has been tweeting very aggressively the past few days. And I was like, I feel like Kanye's going to drop a coin while we're doing the podcast. Lawrence is going to be here, like, checking his phone, trying to get the ticker.
I mean, I'm sitting, when I'm back home, like, I'm sitting behind my laptop for, like, 12 hours straight. And then I'll go to, like, the sauna for 30 minutes. Like, multiple 100 million runners spawns right there. I come back to my PC or like, how the fuck did I miss this shit? But yeah, I think a lot of people play crypto like a single player game when in reality it's a team game. A lot, like, there's only so much research you can personally do, and the best way is as a team. Like, you have different people researching different things. I have a bunch of friends that have wallets of mine. Say the coin drops right now. I'm not gonna miss it. Some guy that I know very well that I trust with my money. I mean, there's people I've never met in my life that had like 6 figures of my money just sitting in case something happens. Like, I don't even know these guys' real names. I know their Telegram names. So I've been scammed like multiple times. We can go into that. But there's people that I trust, even though I don't know who they are. I hold some money for them, they hold some money for me. And if I'm busy doing something and they text me and I'm not responding and they see some runner, they have some money for me that they can just throw in. And I trust them. If they lose the money, like, it's still my fault. And oftentimes I just come back and some guy will send me like, oh hey, I put 10K of your money and you're 70K. Like, I'm sleeping. So you have things like that happen. And when you play crypto as like a single player game, it's very difficult because it is like team play. There's only so much research you can personally do. And the main thing that makes you the most money is what they call alpha, which is basically like some information that somebody has. And it's oftentimes like, hey, CZ, like, I found this old article where it's talking about the name of his dog. We have this information that's difficult to find, but it's out there. And alone, it's hard to scam.
It could be right over there.
But if you can, okay, the name is Bob, whatever the name of his dog, just throw some money into Bob Coin and they're putting in the chat, like, hey, I found this article. When you're playing alone, you miss a lot of the field. When you have like 10 people looking at all these different angles, you can cover a lot more. You can see exactly what's happening. You have tracking different wallets. Because of the nature of crypto, everything is very transparent. So you have these very good traders that their wallets are public. Some are public figures, but some are just, you don't know who's behind the wallet, but like they made $7 million this month with like an 80% hit rate. So you can see, okay, when that wallet is buying something, you look at, hey, well, like, what is it? A lot of people copy trade. It's how you get wrecked. But when you see a couple wallets that I'm tracking, like pinging on this coin, I'm like, okay, well, what's this? Why are these guys looking into this? And take a look, okay, what is this coin about? What's the narrative? What's the team? And then kind of go into it from there.
Yeah, these
I guess somebody was nearby and reported it. So.
Quite successful at trading. Do they have like multiple wallets? Do they have thousands of wallets? Like, are you really able to track someone who's there?
In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. Some people have docs wallets. Like, oftentimes, big traders and stuff. It's very easy to find someone's wallets when coins I've talked about, or if they post P&Ls and stuff. And some people switch wallets really often, so you don't like people seeing what they're aping. So I had for a while private wallets. I've just like doxed one of my wallets so people can see exactly kind of what I'm doing. I'm doing like a challenge with it where I turn 10 sol into 1,000 sol. So just publicly transparent, you can see every play. Like, there's no, if I lose, I lose. Like, if I win, I win. Like, you can see all of it. But some people have change their wallets because it's very quickly easy to find. So they'll send the money off the wallet, they'll swap it, change, and make it very difficult to track, and then fund a new wallet. But oftentimes it's quite a process. So you can just see like on chain there's a bunch of tools like GMGN, like where you can see you paste in a wallet address, you can see how much they made last month, and you can also just filter by wallets that have made X amount of money. You can see, okay, this wallet made 10 mil of Trump, like what else have they done? And you can transparently kind of see everything. And it's very easy to track these wallets. And even when people move wallets, if you try hard enough, you can still follow like this cookie trail. So it's almost impossible to hide. And some people switch wallets, some people have been using the same wallet to trade for like the last year and a half. You can see every play they've made,
Hospitals,
if they're
refer to the
profitable.
hospitals
And
will
I
not
think
let
that's
you
what the
complete
business starting
your
out is like,
adoption. You know,
you
you
get to see
doing up your
behind the
baby
scenes of these
at
people
the
that
hospital
been in crypto
or
for a
a
while
hospital
and
ground.
trading with 7-8 figures.
That's either do it at the
Um,
person's home or
Take a
a
look what
hospital
they're
ground,
doing,
right?
See,
This
understand
lady that's
like,
giving up her baby,
how are they selling out,
she had to go in the car,
how are they
literally
hitting
carry
these
her
runners.
baby that's just given
You
away.
can see all the transparency. There's so much
Carried
data
out
to
the
get started.
hospital.
I think that's why crypto
And then
is
the
so
mom
much better to get
changes
into
her
than
mind.
say stock
Wow.
trading or forex trading.
She already
simply
signed a
because
thing. She signed a
everything
waiver
is
thing.
super transparent and there's way more upside. Like in forex, I've never seen someone take $1,000 and turn it into like $1 million. Where I know plenty of people, and I've done that myself in crypto. So, you have way higher
You
risk.
turned $1,000 into $1 million.
I mean, yeah. I mean, over the not in one play, but over the course of
Yeah.
over the course of crypto, yeah. Like
So you never made like how much money have you made outside of crypto prior to, let's say, the past 3 years?
very, very little, to be honest.
Like less than 10,000?
No, probably upwards because I ran in the bear market. I ran like a content agency for a while, and I was doing like $10,000 a month with that, like with okay margins. Maybe outside of crypto, maybe a total of like 70, 80K. But oftentimes just I get back into crypto. But I've had like I've had transparent wallets now, right? So you can see like just like 2 days ago I turned $1,000 into like 75K on a Docs wallet on the Central African Republic one, like in a couple of minutes. Like it's very
I
difficult
missed
to
out
do
on
that.
that, yeah.
It's very difficult to do that in Forex. There are some people that are profitable, but I just don't like the industry overall. And it's much harder. You're trading against a lot more algorithms, a lot more bots. Same in stock trading, whereas meme coins. Like think about your average meme coin trader. It's some fat fuck in some basement of his mom that's trading with $50. That's someone that's much easier to outcompete than the guys behind the terminals at JP Morgan trading stock. It's like it's a PvP game regardless. Like you want to be PvPing against oftentimes young teenagers or idiots or trading against me. There's the meme coin markets. You have a less high caliber of people that you're going up against. Like in forex trading against central banks, you're trading against companies like Apple. They sell their phones in yens in Japan and they want to change back to dollars. They also want the best exchange rate. That's all that forex is. And the same with stocks. You have companies and insiders, and you have all that in meme coins as well. But it's all on chain. You can find and see these cabals. These people that often complain about like insiders and things like that. But it's all transparent. Like you can see, okay, this coin got super added into these 5 projects. Like the next time they buy something, like you can see that as well. You can follow the insiders. Whereas in stocks, it's behind this closed wall that we can never see. Who's buying, who's selling. It's not transparent who that belongs to, how much. It's more of a data deal. In the blockchain, you can see everything. It's
That's my
transparent.
lady
What
went.
is the
She
crypto
went to for a belly scan to
I mean,
see
Cabal
how
is
big the baby
kind of
is.
like
No,
a
that's not
way
right.
for a team. It's a very
No,
organized
that's
team.
like-
You have
No,
all
that's a
these
bowel
different
movement. She
cabals,
needs
and
to
it's
go
not
through
very
shit first. She
organized.
needs to get cleaned out and everything. Because I don't think there's
You
a baby
have
in there. I think
these
she's
cabals,
just fat.
these groups of people.
that in
Oftentimes,
front of the doctor, right?
behind all the big
But it's an
projects,
actual fetus. You
oftentimes
can
the
see the
same
hands,
10
arms,
teams.
everything.
And
As soon as
I
the
can know,
doctor
like, by
goes,
looking
look
at
at
the
it. All
website
you
of the
gotta do is
project
go
or
through
looking at, like, the
some
wallets, I know,
juice,
like,
fucking
oh shit, this
whatever.
is this Chinese
Clean
cabal.
that shit out.
Like, you
It's
get
good.
very
Shit or
good
not.
at picking up
That's
these
all that
patterns
is. It's all shit.
because they're creating the same
There's no
coins
baby
often,
in
they're
there.
trading the same
No,
coins
and if
often.
it is, we'll do a DNA
The
test because I know you've been
Binance
playing
cabal,
around.
These Binance insiders, oftentimes like big Chinese whales, that buy
Wow.
projects like pre-Binance listing, and teams that create the same coins. There's only a couple like good teams that create all the big coins that me and you or people on the street would have heard of. It's the same teams. They have the same people that make the websites every time. There's one guy that runs the marketing all the time. They use the same KOLs, which are like these KOLs are these stands for key opinion leader. They're basically the same influencers or these Twitter pages, oftentimes unboxed. You have these Twitter pages, and it's oftentimes one guy that runs like 10 of these pages. You have all these pages, some NFT profile picture, and they look completely separate. But I know guys that run like 10 pages themselves. So you'll see all of them post and like, oh my god, why is everyone on crypto Twitter talking about this one coin? But it's one guy that runs all these different pages in all these different niches. I've seen docs pages where it's like some guy's profile picture, it's an AI generated guy. So it's all very much smoke and mirrors. And Cabal is just these organized
I wish you
teams.
could do
Like I
that,
said,
honey.
crypto
I know how to make
is the
those.
best players teams. So you have these
I
organized
know how to
teams
make
that
these.
move their capital
All
together
we
so
need
they
is
can
that
pump things
control
in. You
sheet
have these
lot
cabals
of
that
needles,
create
right?
coins or just hijack coins as well. Like these coins
Or
they'll
big
just
pillows.
buy up
Big
like a
pillows,
couple
honey.
$1 million worth of it.
Big
And now
mouth
it's basically their
pillows.
coin. They can move the price and they're
Fucking
incentivized
Pikachu
to
pillows,
push it.
whatever.
Any kind of pillows.
When they have a couple
Yeah,
million,
people buy them.
even if it's not their
Yeah.
coin,
Yeah.
you have a couple
Post them
million,
online.
they're gonna market it. They're gonna get people to buy it.
When we go to
on
South
their own
Tangies
backs.
and Natura,
But oftentimes
Take a few of
it's
them.
teams launching themselves.
but the thing is, you
They
gotta buy
control
the
80% of the
cloth, the
supply
material,
in many different wallets.
and the stuffing.
And a lot of people don't understand
And
how
of course,
these teams
bread.
actually make money. But it's simply by
You wanna make
selling
I
onto
wanna make
retail.
pillows. I haven't made pillows
So you have these
since
things
fucking
called market makers.
Pillows.
Like, say these
Pillows.
projects have like 80% controlled supply.
Sixth grade. Sixth
You
grade
don't
was
want, you
like
can't just
teach you how
sell
to do
that like
pillows
on one
and-
clip, and even if people float it
Yep,
slowly,
I
it's
remember
very
making a pillow.
difficult. But they have these
I made
algorithms
this
that
little
are
mini
like
one.
market makers. So as the
Little one with a button
$10,000
inside.
buy comes in,
That was
they
fun.
all float say $3,000 worth of
I wanna do
tokens.
that. I
So
think
never
that'd be fun.
create any red candles. They just kind of dampen the green candles. And then over the course of a couple of weeks or a couple of months, if it will flow 7-8 figures like pretty quickly onto buys without ever wrecking the project. So when projects launch, it's super controlled. But by the time the project comes to its end, the team barely controls any more tokens. It becomes more of a community-led thing. And oftentimes that can fare well because you have now an organic community.
This guy
They
sells
control
them
now
one for 60, 2
80%
for
of the
100.
project, whereas in the beginning, the
These
team
pillows,
controlled
like,
80%.
not huge pillows, but
So
nice like
they have these organic holders that
Right.
are, shilling the coins to their friends or they're involved in the community. At the beginning, that's all artificial. You have these raiders and you have basically these paid shows. Like you have like 50 people in Nigeria that would just type in the chat, super bullish, I'm all in. And sometimes it's AIs and sometimes it's just real people that get paid, $1, a couple dollars an hour to go and just type into these chats. So, when I go into this, I'm like, oh wow, look at how many people are typing and doing this. And even when you get like, when you're in the space, like I know the same Telegram account of this guy that's doing this. He's in like 30 different groups that I'm in common with. And like, these people aren't like real community members, but they create this front that has, for a real community form, you need people in the chats typing already. So if you don't want to be the first one on the dance floor, when you join a Telegram chat for a new coin, there's already people in there typing, being enthusiastic about it. It's like when you go into the club and there's already people on the dance floor, like, okay, it's pretty easy for you to go join. But you never want to be the only guy sitting on the dance floor. So in the beginning, these teams artificially create like these chats and have all these holders that are talking about it on Twitter. But none of these are real people. None of these are their real opinions at least. It's all these paid people. And they create this facade of this big community of, wow, this community is great, then you get involved. But in reality, everyone else is paid and, you're the only real person going in there and they're there to take your money.
Yeah, that's an interesting kind of scam I've noticed, like investing small amounts into crypto recently. Like I bought a coin with 100,000 liquidity, which essentially means like someone had put $100,000 worth in, and I think maybe I bought $700, just something small, and it instantly crashed and like it got robbed, and I was like, is this person just like adding $100,000 of their own money, and as soon as someone invests, they just take the $700? Like, is that worth it for them?
It can be. So you have these different things called honeypots, basically, which are where you can buy in, you see these tokens are pumping, but in the contracts you can't sell. So basically, the price only ever moves up, and then the whitelist wallets that can sell, so they whitelist their own wallet, and they just sell. They basically make all the money that people buy it in, and they already control all the token business. So if you put in $700, they basically make like $699 profit off that. And then these are what we call honeypots, and then you have rug pool, which is basically where you take out the liquidity so no one can sell it as well, which sends the token instantly to zero. But oftentimes, those are blatant scams. Like those are people that come into the attention. But through platforms like PumpFun and Backscreen, like those often get flagged, and that doesn't happen as much. Like last cycle, you'd oftentimes get rug pulled, which basically when the liquidity wasn't locked, people could just withdraw the 100,000 if they had in liquidity, and all the current holders are blocked. This cycle, most of the coins are made on PumpFun, which is the liquidity is like already locked. People call things rugs, but by definition, most coins can't rug anymore. When a chart crashes, like 80%, they'll call it a rug, but it isn't really like a rug. It's just the
It's a
coins
very
crash.
methodical rug with lots of AI, multiple wallets.
Exactly.
Very interesting. But are you in the crypto cabal?
I mean, cabal is difficult to define. Like, I'm in group chats with people. It's 100 people, like invite only, and everyone in there has over $1 million, and in meme coins, and they had to dox their wallets. So I guess in some ways, yes, I'm in no way like in some Binance cabal. I'm still like a retail trader. But I guess in some ways, yes, like a group chat with my friends can be a cabal in some ways, where we're looking for things, we're moving together, they have control of some of my money, and we're incentivized to make each other money and ourselves money. So I guess, in some ways, yes, I am in a cabal, but less defined, and it's not like some like cloaked, shady room where I'm pumping coins and doing things like that.
You're in a group chat that is essentially worth $100 million in
More.
crypto.
I mean, easily a billion. There's plenty of 8, 9 figure people in there. There's plenty of group chats that I'm in where everyone just sends coins like all day, because they send coins and like instantly go buy this. Like they send the coin, then you go take a look, because of pumping is more than 20,000 launches a day. You can never keep up. Like you'll miss runners. But when you have a team of 100 people that are all very smart people that have a lot in crypto, that have been in crypto for years, and as soon as you send a bad coin to do something, you get kicked out. So it becomes like a self-filtering process that it's difficult to get in, and once you're in, it's not worth it to send a rug or something bad, because you missing out on all the future plays would have cost you more than the couple $1,000s you've made by scamming some other people in the community. So over time, if you get rid of all the bad people in these groups, and you get left with like a very good group of 100 people that know each other. Like I call with these guys every day. Some people I don't know their real name. Like I'm Docs and my profile picture is me. But there's some people with profile pictures of some NFT that I don't know, that I sent a lot of money to, that have made me a lot of money, that I've made them a lot of money, and these people I would consider friends. But I've no idea what their real names are, where they're from or anything. Some people sit on voice changes like on the chat. Some people are very methodical about keeping their identity in crypto, which makes sense. It has downsides of being public in crypto, which I'm aware of, and I'm
Really,
taking
you
a lot
feed
of
the
risks
chickens their
by
own
doing that.
eggshells and makes the chickens
But
all
I
know
guess
it.
someone
Right.
part of it today.
So you're 18 years old. You're the youngest guest we've had on the podcast. So congrats on that. Yeah, how are you in a group chat with like multimillionaires, decamillionaires, centimillionaires, billionaires at 18 years old? Like, how did you get to this point?
Yes, I mean my journey is a long and one with up and downs. A lot of people always talk about my network and think, oh, how do you meet these people? Like it's not like I'm going out of my way to go network with these people, but once kind of you reach certain calibers and you do certain things, you kind of attract those people. And especially because of my age, I put myself in a position to be mentored by these people. Like last night we went for dinner. It was me, you, a friend of yours, and the multi-billionaire that was there that I've been traveling with. And this is someone that has way more money than me, they're much more successful than me, but I talk with them, I'm working with them now, and that's someone that has taught me a lot, simply because I take off the right characteristics of someone that they would want to mentor. When they talk, I listen. They see I have my own things going on. It's like I'm starting from zero. Like I've already proven that I can do it, and I'm at level 10, they're level 99. But they can see that, okay, I want to help this kid get to level 50. And because I've gotten from 1 to 10 myself, like they already know that I have the ambition for it, that I have, the capability for it. Very difficult for someone that's at level 99 to look at someone that's at level 1 and be like, I want to help them. Because you need to help yourself first. But yeah, I got started really early, which is, playing to my favorite as much as I can say, like, I'm young and look all of this. Like, it didn't happen super quickly. Like, I've really been in this game for 6 years now, so almost 7. I started at age 12 with kind of online business, small numbers in e-commerce and other things, and crypto for me has been life changing. Last cycle, and then I got scammed and lost a lot of my money, and then I started my agency, and I was doing a lot in the bear market, because I always knew this recent run was going to happen. So after I lost practically all my money, I had like 2 years where I need to get as much money as possible.
How did you lose your money?
So towards the end of the last cycle, this is in 2021, I'm 15. I have almost I had 500,000 and down to like 300,000 because I got scammed. But at 500K, I had a bunch of people that were doing pre-sales and things like that. And it'd be someone that I've been doing business with for 2 years almost. From I started like when I just got into crypto, it was like one of the first guys I was connecting with. It was similar age to me, in Holland. I don't know his real name. I just knew he was from Holland. He was spoke Dutch.
Holland is Amsterdam,
Amsterdam.
by the way,
Yeah.
for Americans up there.
And yeah, I've been talking with him for a while. Like we said on VCs, that we're both like young kids and we both done well. And he had this pre-sale for this coin that is running, and I was like, he created like it's such a good scam. Like I don't fall for scams easily, but I think A, I was just blind because I trusted the guy. And he was working on this big project. He was talking about it for like upwards of 2 months. He showed me all these things that he was working on, and he was gonna basically run this project. And then I gave him a good chunk, like 200K that I sent him without ever knowing his real name. And it wasn't the first time I'd done things like that. Like I'd sent people large sums of money, people that I trusted, and sometimes it turned out well. But this was right at the peak of the market, and he never went through it. He just disappeared with everyone's money, including mine. Just blocked on Discord, and there's nothing more I could do. I didn't have him or anything else. So yeah, that completely gone. I don't know, that was rough for me because at the time, like, even now, it's a shit ton of money. At the time, it was like almost half my money. And then the FTX crash, I had a lot of money sitting in crypto on BlockFi, which is like a platform that paid you interest. It was like a sister company, and it lent a bunch of money to FTX when they went bankrupt. And I timed the top of the market like almost perfectly. I was in an Uber to my friend's house, and the Uber driver started telling me, I'm going to quit being an Uber driver, I'm going to buy Shiba Inu, I'm going to be a millionaire. And I was like just before I'd been reading when the shoe shiner starts giving you stock tips, that's when you know the market's at a spot. And like that verse just like played in my head like so vividly. I ordered the same guy back home. I went to my PC and I sold like 80% of my positions. And within like 2 weeks, it was the market top. And I had cashed out a lot of things, but I had it sitting on exchanges that went bankrupt. So I had money sitting there on my screen, and I timed it well, but just where it chose to store my money was wrong. So I knew like, okay, this crypto is going to fall apart. And I just had all the stable coins. I had a lot in Luna stable coin as well, which also went to shit. And so I had a bunch of this money in stables, and it became just numbers on a screen, like they just disabled withdrawals. So I had my money there, like I wasn't able to access it or anything, and I basically lost like I had maybe a couple $1,000 left. I lost basically
My
everything
baby
overnight.
loves Hank.
And every the same people that like told me to get into BlockFi, all these big YouTube like people you've spoken to, they recommended this
This
product.
is about ready to
And
rack
I
it
was,
right now.
I was so heartbroken. I was like 15, 16 at the time, and I'd spent like the last 3 years.
Somebody
Like,
stole a
every
dog
day
from
I
a
was, like,
Tesla.
trading.
Wait,
I
what
was
now?
in these
Somebody stole a
VCs. I
dog
was,
from a Tesla.
typing in community
Really?
chats.
How
I
do you
made
do that?
a good amount of money and lost
That's what the name of it
practically
is.
all. It got this scam and this
Dog
this
stolen
FTX
from
thing
Tesla.
happened, like,
Lemon.
at the same time, like very, very close to each other. So I went from having like so much money that like really I wasn't buying much, but I like that that I could basically buy anything.
Here
I
comes the
wanted,
sun,
houses
and
or
I
cars and stuff
said,
like that. And
it's
as a kid
alright.
in South Africa, that's a lot of money. It's almost like 10 million rand, the local currency worth, like almost $500K, to having a couple $1,000 in like the course of a couple of weeks. And straight away afterwards, I was like, I'm not getting this money back. Like, there's no way the guy's not going to send me the money back. FTX isn't going to magically like come back. So I just kind of started fresh. That same morning, I woke up at sunrise. I went up to climb the lion's head. I recorded a lot of this. Like I have videos on my phone where like it was me like crying and stuff like that. Like, fuck, this is so bad. And then the next morning just kind of snapped. I went up and I meditated like at the top of a mountain. It sounds like some crazy shit. I like meditated at sunrise, and I was like, I'm gonna make this all back. The bull run's gonna happen again. I need to make as much money and as much connections in the next couple of years that I'm well prepared for the next one, and I won't make the same mistakes again. And then I kind of got into more of the personal brand stuff at that time. I went with the content agency. I was just trying a couple different things. Nothing ever made me as much money as crypto did. I needed to start fresh. It was very difficult to trade in the bear market because so many rugs, no good projects, there's no volume anymore. Like it was so like last cycle, it was so easy to make money. In this cycle, much more difficult. Like if you know what you're doing, you still can, but like it kind of ruined my perception of money for a while because I was a kid that had made so much money. All of a sudden, working a job for like even in South Africa, $5 an hour is like a good wage. Like that's not appealing to me anymore. I had times where I'm sitting there like every refresh was like a couple $1,000. and have to work for an hour for 5. And I was, yeah, it kind of ruined your perception of money forever. So kind of still continued with online business. I worked as a lifeguard for a little bit, and yeah, just kind
You
of
were a lifeguard
Yeah,
after
yeah.
making hundreds of thousands of
yeah,
dollars.
I clipped and I've posted some pictures and stuff of it. It was mainly I thought I would get girls by being a lifeguard. I thought it would be like Baywatch. But in reality, I was like, yeah, I was 16. It was more kicking old drug people off the beach, and I was quite short for a very long time. So it's a short kid, and I'm like going to some 50-year-old drinking beer. I'm like, hey, get off the beach. And he's like, oh what? Fuck off. I'm like, I'm gonna call a senior lifeguard with like some 17-year-old chick. Yeah.
Who's it?
I did that for a little
Dave?
bit. Worked odd jobs. And
You
then I
start
kind
walking
of
up and Blue's all going
started
crazy.
interning at these hedge funds. So first at the fund in South Africa, because I had like, a record of how much money I made and lost. But I understood like crypto and blockchain very well. So I was interning at this fund, and I would sit down and tell these very smart like TradFi people. By TradFi I just mean like in traditional markets and stocks, equities, bonds.
He doesn't know. He doesn't. Huh?
The neighbor's calling you through the wall.
What neighbor?
One's the house.
What neighbor?
I'm seeing. Go ahead.
Okay.
There's just a hawker right there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and let Blue in. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, good boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Look at that. Gonna go crazy.
All excited.
Oh, yeah. Go insane. Oh, man. Holy cow. Oh, shit.
Oh, Marley kicked you out of the...
Yeah.
Marley, you bastard. You can never let out of that chair. It's not your chair.
It don't matter. I'm already down here now, so. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
Oh.
you got it. You got it.
Uh-oh.
The second you get your like neighbor calls him.
Yeah.
Everything.
It got cold yesterday.
Right? Was it freezing? And then it rained this morning.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Well,
Well,
it wasn't really raining, kind of like mist. Not even mist, it was just fog.
Well, it was enough to make it leak.
Yeah, oh, mine did too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that hole right there, all that from that. So mad. But I didn't even know it was doing that. I woke up this morning and I'm like, honey, there's a pile of water right here. Like, I know, I heard it. Oh, working on dishes again and laundry. I was gonna wait till the sun fully comes out, but I think that was as much as it's gonna come out, huh? I did do it.
We were so excited. So excited. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh, you bud.
Oh.
He sees you too, Marley. Chill out. Give you a look on your face. Don't be jealous now. You already scratched the hell out of my legs. Pause. Because he wanted to get in here so bad, he's fucking going like this to my leg.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. It hurt. You have to run him off or something. I don't know.
Got him.
Got a pot off?
Yeah.
That'll work.
Stop him.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I think dogs walk on stumps. Why not? Alright.
Okay.
Morning.
Uh-oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. What did you get? Oh. Easy, 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 easy.
Nice. Come on, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. What do you want, buddy? Huh? What do you want, buddy? Huh? Huh? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
Right. Oh, sorry, folks. My husband forgot that he's online. He forgot. He forgot and left you on there, all in the dark. Looks like it's going up. Hey, go lay in your spot. Oh, it shot up. It shot up. What the heck? What we got here? Honey, you left your people on the video.
Question has been about the economy.
And you shot up all the way up.
To this administration, Biden
I can't get
said
into
there
it.
you go. The Donald policy would make them
Look, it shot up.
Oh my goodness.
But I can't see how much you made.
Lemon. Here, lemon. Sorry about that, guys. Lemon. Yeah, we got a lemon. Oh, $18. Oh my wordy. Birdie dirty. It was at $28 this morning. Got up, looked at her. She went down like a lightning bolt. I tell you. Here, what's it? There's that one video.
Oh,
Where's the remote?
right here. I took it.
Oh, I knew it.
What's up?
Now this is very interesting. That's what I want you to look at. Library's history. Check this kid out right here.
Oh, it's Monday, honey. You gonna ask Carla what she has? See if Jude wants any?
Well, yeah, I thought you would send me a message, huh?
I would just send you a message.
Thanks for the 20 grand. You just took you 30 days.
Hola, Carla. ¿Qué tiene en su menú hoy, niña? ¿Qué tiene de comer hoy? Go ahead, son. That's all right.
This is Griffin. He's only 50 years old, and he managed to steal over $60,000 in less than 2 hours. This isn't
2
a
hours,
typical solo
60,000.
theft. In fact, steal might not even be the right word to describe his actions. Griffin didn't break into a bank vault or hack into some system. Instead, he used a far more clever and sneaky approach, collecting the money through meme coins, one of the wildest and most chaotic parts
This is
of
what I'm doing.
cryptocurrency. He pulled off a plan so clever that it left investors furious and the internet in shock. What made the story so wild isn't just the amount of money or how quickly he made it. It's the way he did it.
2 hours.
Created
You see Marley out there, honey?
capitalizing on an
Hi.
unpredictable, hype-driven nature to manipulate the
he's out
value
there,
and cash out big. But what's even crazier, he streamed the entire process live, locked in and celebrating as people rush in
So
to
pretty
buy
much
into his
basically
coin.
from
The
nothing to
aftermath,
60
not
grand
so
in
much
2
chaos.
hours. I
He was
mean,
being called a scammer, but he was investing who lost their money. And the crypto
but when you put your money in here,
community
you gotta know it's gonna be gone. Okay, you can lose it. There's no,
This is the story of how a 15-year-old kid
there's no guarantee on nothing,
and
no.
walked away with
Not
over
even one.
$60,000 in less than 2 hours.
2 hours. 60 grand in 2 hours. It's possible. He did it. Anyone can do
Griffin
it.
always had a hustler's mindset. From a young age, she was constantly in meetings the ways to make quick money. She started reselling sneakers, a popular hustle at the time, hoping to turn a profit. But the sneaker market eventually
Sneakers,
became
selling
too crowded,
shoes.
and the opportunity faded. Griffin realized it wasn't going to work out and began searching for something new. That's one of fame with his instinct to put the police
Well, there's something
specifically
in it, I
Lincoln.
guess. They make
His
money.
friends had already made good trading coins and told Griffin about the potential
Make
for
money
fast
doing it.
profit. Intrigued by the idea,
I mean, I
he
guess
decided to
this is
jump in.
sneakers that they
Realizing
kids
his
they don't
decision
wear them
would
really
actually
too
make
much,
him
and then
famous in the crypto world.
I thought she was
Griffin
too
came
weird.
into the world of
Jack,
Lincoln
that's what I
began
think.
8 months ago, and April 1st,
Well, they don't-
was
they
the
don't,
very first phantom day. The fully decentralized
Yeah,
crypto
well, we're
wallet
rocking
was
and
digital
rolling
and
there,
Lincoln
guys.
followed
You know,
the funds
yeah,
and
we got a
followed
runner,
the
I
bank,
tell ya.
allowing them to send,
We got a
receive,
runner.
and store digital assets.
Made a
It
new
started
high
trading
there.
Lincolns on the Solana
4 or
blockchain,
5
the
million,
fastest
5 million
longest
market
blockchain
cap.
ideal
5
for
million
trading
market
Lincolns.
cap.
With his wallet ready, Griffin funded it
April 1st,
$25 and
2024.
made his first investment in a token called LeBron James. This coin belonged to a specific trend or meta in the meme coin
What
world.
was
Meme coins often follow metas, which
quite-
are themes that
quite
target
up
creation
there.
of similar tokens. The most famous and influential meta is the dog meta, inspired by Dogecoin, the very first meme coin ever created in 2013, based on the viral art Dogecoin. Dogecoin
But
is
anyway,
the largest meme coin
he
in
made
America,
it.
staking at $62
Just like
billion.
that.
Its success
You know what I mean? Well, this guy, he turned.
These bonds, and that's things and like what is
Same thing. He pretty much 200,000 in 10 minutes. And it's possible. Anybody can do it. And I'm getting close.
You just have to be wealthy to be able to waste your money like that.
I'm real close because I just find
And
it
16
now.
bucks is a hell of a lot farther away than $2 million.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's how you turn it.
Double the
That's
sickness.
Today's guest
That's how you turn it into it. By starting right there, you know what I mean?
I
17.
had like 200,000 of a meme coin in like 10 minutes, Mom on a million.
10
Born in South Africa, he
Quarter
started out
mil,
selling candy to
10
classmates,
minutes.
using the profits
10
to
minutes.
launch
What's
a
the dollar
dropshipping
does
business. At 13, he stumbled into cryptocurrency, where one of his first investments
Anybody can
skyrocketed
do it.
10,000%.
It's just the more you study, the more you look at it, the more you get right in there, the more faster you catch it. Down here, and it goes up there, and your $10 turns into $10,000. You're just getting in at the very beginning, right when it comes out. And that's where we're at right here. We're getting in them.
now because
I mean-
everyone knows this thing is the casino, but it's more like say playing poker. Like luck is a part of it, but the best
And
poker players
this-
consistently win.
You do win sometimes, you know what I mean? I won before.
Expose the deceptive tactics.
Yeah, it takes a
keeping
lot of
wealth,
work
that
and a
hidden
lot of
loopholes
looking.
used by the elite to secure generational power.
Even this morning, I hold like 50K worth of.
Studying, you know what I mean?
Welcome to the Jack Neal podcast.
To
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Maurits and I got dinner last night. We had a pretty good conversation. He's kind of teaching me all this crypto
But it's
stuff.
possible though. These kids can
Not
do it. I
too
can do it.
familiar
I'm
with the
50.
space, and I've
50.
I don't know.
I know I can do it.
But you're not that tech savvy though.
Yeah, I've been practicing and looking at it. I'm getting real close to
Hey man, let's still something.
Huh?
The lady that shot the lady in the head. No, not that one, the one before.
Ellen. That's dangerous right there. I mean, Ellen. They drag you right there.
You know what I'm saying? Hood.
A cop was charged with something bad. LLC funding.
Now in new developing news, neighbors in Santa Monica
Car that
say
drives
they are
itself.
losing sleep after a fleet of self-driving cars moved in next door. Thanks for joining us for the KG.
Wow.
You freaking out about that?
A group of cars, self-driving cars moved in next door. Yeah, I'd be creeped out too. Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna kill them. Yeah, to shoot them out.
Live now in Santa Monica.
Yeah, they're
with
self-driving
more
cars.
on
They don't need
the
any.
ongoing noise
There's no people in there.
Lauren?
Wow.
Glenn and Lou, maybe you've seen a Waymo on the road. Maybe you've even taken them. They are
Someone's gotta be able to plug them
driverless
in and gas them
taxis.
up or
The
something.
neighbors that live next to this charging station say that here at Euclid and Broadway, the noise that these Waymos make, a particular
Waymo.
sound, is a nuisance. Listen.
A nuisance.
Look at him. He's waiting for him. What's wrong with him? He's so slow. He's like a turtle.
It's the backup noise. You just heard it there. Several neighbors in apartments surrounding the lot tell us they think it's noise pollution. They say it's a consistent sound
That's crazy,
every
bro. There he
up
goes.
right near their home. And for some,
Waymo.
especially at night, they can't sleep. It keeps them up. They say that's when the Waymos seem to be actually the most busy. One neighbor
Was it a taxi or
started
what?
a change.
Yeah, it's a taxi and there's nobody in there.
The new Waymo station has turned our once peaceful neighborhood into a hub for noise pollution, an incessant disturbance that hinders both our tranquility during the day and our peace during the night. Here are some neighbors we spoke to.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the most annoying noises I can think of. You know, the Amazon trucks kind of have it figured out, but these ones are obnoxious. It's like they do it on purpose.
It is annoying, especially we both work from home. He's a social media content manager, and I'm a customer success specialist. So I have to deal with this noise every time I'm like on a call with someone.
With the reverse beeping, it's very loud, and not everything's so quiet, so the sound is elevates. It's just really, really loud. We can't even have our windows open.
Oh, the one behind the
Some
cop car.
neighbors we spoke to signed on to that change.org petition. Some didn't know about it. It has
Oh,
about
the cop
42
car.
signatures at last check. A Santa Monica City PI
When did they ever pull one of those over?
officer telling me in an
Nobody in
email
there.
they have been working with Waymo to resolve the
But
concerns.
why is it driving
They
around?
say
What's
that
it
the
for?
city's
Taxi.
enforcement code enforcement has visited
So
the
why
site
wouldn't they pull
repeatedly.
it over, right?
Noise codes are being violated.
You
Some
get a pull over, there's nobody in there. There's no driver in there.
Not
You
even
see it?
passenger, you pull over the
Waymo's
passenger. No?
operations that
No, you can't pull a
autonomous
passenger over. The
vehicles
passenger
and
doesn't have
robotaxi
nothing to do with it.
services are
They order the
exclusively
ride and then
permitted
it comes picks
in
you up.
California by the California Public Utilities Commission and the
You
DMV.
should get one of those, honey.
They
That
say
way you can
another
never get pulled
challenge
over.
is that federal regulations require all hybrid vehicles
And you won't be
used
driving.
to be
You're
for
good.
backing up at a volume sufficient to alert pedestrians or someone on a bicycle. Back out here live, I have reached out to Waymo. They say they are working on a response to me, and I'll have more coming up at 3 o'clock, including,
Wow,
or 1
Waymo.
o'clock rather, including
Waymo.
someone who says that Waymo tried to get a
Waymo.
restraining order on them
Lame-o
for
Waymo.
protest the noise complaints.
I'd like to
That's
hit
what I
one
find here in Santa Monica.
on accident.
I'll send it back to you.
Hit one of them cars on accident there. See what she says. She says
Oh, there's a movie on the right.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it. Oh,
He's
yeah.
trying to figure out the whole fraudulent part of it all. I mean, nothing may come of it. Probably, you know, maybe able to just.
makes $2 million a year. Drifting.
84, 85, 86, 87. This man counting out the largest flea market jackpot I've ever seen. It goes by Tekken Sport. He's a reselling millionaire that has sold over $30 million of used clothing online.
Huh.
Doing deals just like this one. 96, 97, 98. He even let you try it for a weekend to find out
crazy
how
he
he
made
buys
that
and
much.
sells more items in one day than most resellers do in a month. 102, 103, 104, 105. I want to know how he became eBay's #1 clothing seller for over a decade and how he managed to turn old t-shirts into a generational fortune. 107, 108, 109. He gave me an inside look at the deals he's doing at flea markets and thrift stores, showed me the vintage clothing store he owns, and even brought me to his secret warehouse, and he dropped wisdom the whole time.
We can get crippled down and bogged down by all of the education, none of the execution. 10, the most valuable assets of the business became the relationship and the product. 11, there is no balance. For what I do, there's no balance. It's all day rock and roll, and I'm happy with that, and I love it. 112.
112 hats? Portland, Florida. 5 a.m.
Yeah, a couple weeks before Christmas. Of course, you're going to be the biggest sales day of the year. Nah.
Nobody sells online.
It's the best time to sell anything. 14 to the 10 days of Christmas.
Buys it from Mexico.
10 days of Christmas.
Thank you.
12 days of
This is
Christmas.
where you come first, my friend. It's such a huge advantage when you get to go through it first. Dude, there's going to be nothing left after I'm done. Same
Oh, he
metrics that
picks
we're
through his
always
post before he
looking
puts
for.
that guy puts it out for sale.
$20 profit. My
Yeah.
buy cost on this particular vendor is $5.
So every item that you're putting in this pile, you're making conservatively $20 on.
Yep. We've got some good ones. I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you when we're done, when we're up the street.
Yeah. And his buy cost is so low, he's probably making $4+ on every piece.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing great. 9,
No
10,
way, man.
11, 112.
Jeez. 20 less profit a piece.
112. We got 141 pieces, $5 each.
Yeah.
One of the pieces
Let's
alone
say
is
something
worth
about on a
$1,000, 800 to 1,000.
There's $1,000 item in that.
Between 800 and 1,000, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you gonna show me later?
Yeah, so we left the whole bag with him because right now it's the golden hour, so like we gotta rock and roll and find all the stuff right now.
Yeah, so you're looking for the booth where you can make the biggest deals and not wait for the time before they come.
He makes a lap, goes around, looks over there again.
Right.
That's
The
outside.
competition is already here.
Yep.
We just gotta beat them. Thank you very much. And then for the clothes, I'll come back. Right now I have to run around. $14, right?
42 bucks for 14 hats, right?
Yes.
What do you think you make on those?
One of them is probably worth 500.
You're kidding me.
No. I got a vintage sports specialties plain logo.
I'm almost not sure I believe you. This is great.
Look on eBay right now. Sports specialties plain logo. This one here.
This hat?
Sports specialties.
That's 500?
Plain logo. This is a very, very hard to find obscure hat. We'll search vintage, sports specialties.
Even with like the pen on there and stuff.
That's some guy's autograph. The person who buys this does not care.
Yeah.
I've only found maybe 2 or 3 plain logos in my entire life. Plain logo 1,200, 1,025. The Yankees one is very,
System cleaned up.
Yeah.
Another one 750.
And you've got what, a Philadelphia one?
Yeah, 600.
No, 6 freaking
Look,
way.
see the MLB on the side?
No way, it's the same thing.
That's what makes it the plain logo.
You're a
This-
monster,
This is
man.
the stuff that you
This
have
is
to know.
insane.
$595, $500, $449, $444,
Recharge.
$299. It's not a fluke. Sports specialist plain logo.
Oh yeah, he sold it.